1, 2, 3, Rain, talk to me. We're gonna hit a beat and talk about my Eve. Everybody, you know what I say.
God.
I'm gonna do a beat.
Make it stop,
Rain?
It's
Why?
time to stop.
Why did you?
Rock, paper, scissors, right? We don't want Eve to be as simple as shut the fuck up, Seto!
Floods of like memes, and these small gangers are like, we're the elite of the elite. Do not fuck with us. We will kill you. We are the best players ever. It's like, dude, I did your shit. I did it better than you did.
You know what this conversation is like? When I say not enough supers die in Delve, and people tell me, oh, look, there's a super died in Delve. So it's like, when I'm
What are
talking
you
about
even
the balance
talking
issue,
about? We were talking about fucking balance, not supers
Yeah.
dying in Delph.
Look,
Why does
look.
everything with you have to be about supers fucking dying in
Shut
Delph?
up! Shut up!
Christ!
It's an analogy, moron. It's an analogy. Okay?
You guys stop arguing. You act like a fucking married couple. Jesus
It's-
Christ.
No, don't stop arguing.
It's an
Well, it
analogy.
is Trash Talk
It's
Tuesday.
an
I was
analogy.
like,
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome once again to another episode of Trash Talk Tuesday, the show that is on Tuesdays that for some reason people still watch. Please stop watching the show. Please. Anyways, my name is Redline13. I'm going to be your host for this evening. I'm joined by, what word should I use to describe you guys?
Superstars.
gaggle of fuckwits.
I'm
of course,
joined
too.
by a
Low
gaggle
APM.
of superstar fuckwits, featuring first and foremost none other than Rundle Party All Nighter. We've also
You're
got
been up for 47 days straight now, but I can do Trash Talk Tuesday. Let's do it.
it's fair. We've also got the ever lovely Guzzlin Sandrin Stone.
Hi.
He's guzzling.
We've got Jeremy, absolutely no APM, and the Dari.
Possibly the most controversial man in Eve today.
False. Extremely false.
Actually, that's true. I know one man who's more controversial than me.
There's
1,000 more, I know.
literally a can of baked beans is more controversial than you, Jeremy. That's all there is to it. We're also joined by Dawn Rhea, the ever lovely from the Goon Swarm place. Hello, Dawn.
Hi, I'm not really here. Just a figment of your imagination.
It's fake.
You've
It's
got a good
fake, Dawn.
imagination.
Fake Don.
And then we've also got Dominarch here, also from the Goonlands.
Greetings, all.
And then, of course, Rich, who is a wormholer, by the way.
You
Just in case
fool!
didn't
I'm
know.
no longer a wormhole, and I'm not in Flagons. You've got it all wrong.
I now know why he's not in Flagons.
I'm no
I-
longer
I
a
have that.
wormhole.
He hasn't told
We'll
us.
get to that. We'll get to. I know it now. I will get to that later.
I did not expect that. And we're also joined by Villy, who is the champion's jewel of our hearts.
And not currently leading a fleet.
And yeah, not actually currently leading a fleet. So that's fun. So yeah, here we are tonight. We're going to talk about some interesting stuff. Apparently fleet formations are boring, so we're not allowed to talk about
No,
that or something
that's
like
the topic
that.
of the night.
Like I
No.
mentioned fleet formations and everybody just fucking went nuts and they were like, "No, fleet formations are lame." And that's cool, I guess. It's their show too.
I don't think
Uh,
it's so much that anybody was like fleet formations are lame, so much as we've all just heard like an incessant amount of talk about fleet formations in the last day or two, and
Yeah.
it gets tedious listening to the same arguments over and over and over again. When it's very clear that until they're actually released and people actually get an opportunity to play with them, it's going to be really hard to assess where they really stand. Everybody kind of gathers that the relative formation is pretty busted, but other than that, it's like we'll see.
So just a game of wait and we'll see. Got it. Makes sense. Well then, I mean, we can move
Last
on to
Starfighter. That's all I can say. Last Starfighter.
what about Last Starfighter?
The
I've
fucking
never
Last
seen that.
Starfighter is fun. Oh my god. I'm not,
That-
never mind.
Is that a movie or like
Yeah,
a TV
it's
show?
a great movie.
Okay. Cool.
From early mid '80s, maybe. I don't know. It's old. It's old. You weren't probably born when it came out, so shut up.
Probably not. You are kind of a boomer.
Kinda.
But I just think Homeworld, like we don't have to talk about it. It's okay. But my first thought is always Homeworld and how I really thought that there would be formations in Eve just like Homeworld, and I think that'd be super cool. But anyways, I mean we can move on to the next topic. We're also gonna talk about some other fun stuff. If you got the ping, you'll see that we're also going to talk about the Marauder updates that are out already. They came out
Oh.
today. I wasn't expecting those today at all, especially with a week's notice and iteration on them from our feedback already,
Let me
which is
tell
kind of
you,
nuts. Huh?
if I 1v1 a battleship right now, it'd be so dope.
I mean, will you record it and show us?
You want to
No,
1v1 at the 1DQ son? I'll
No.
fight.
it would take me longer. I would probably lose the golem moving it down to be able
I
to fight.
Well, I feel that the Bastion timer reduction, it should have been 45 seconds. That way,
No.
there's some nuance to it. 30 seconds is
No,
too
30
much.
seconds is so good.
What do you mean?
Well, you
I'm
see,
gonna
with
go from-
45 seconds, it is shorter than 60 seconds, but if you two-cycle it, it is longer than 60 seconds. It provides for some nuance, it provides for some interesting
No one
gameplay.
wants nuance
I don't
here. Okay, I
think
want
it
to
does.
bash these rats in the face and double the damage I was before and make money faster.
You really are a goon, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Yes, she is.
Fuck this small
Look,
gang nuance.
apparent-
We're all-
Got our priorities right, you know.
Guess what?
Apparently
all-
there is,
We killed 2 golems in Aquarius. That was
God,
fun.
I saw those.
And we killed the one so hard that he begged for his fellow brave brethren in fleet on tether, just like 100 kilometers from him to come and help him. They didn't, so he said, "Fuck you guys," and dropped corp and quit.
I'm gonna
Which
take
was
a
Who was this
wild
person?
guess.
Who?
Luke the
Some
Maddox
goon.
Luke
or
Maddox.
something.
No, he's
It
not a
was
goon.
hilarious.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that he was told to not be a fucking idiot with his golem, and then once, upon being caught being a fucking idiot with his golem, everyone was like, "Well, you get what you get." And
No,
like,
hold on a
We
second.
got
How
the-
could
we got the
how could you
whole
tell him
monologue.
not? How could you tell him how he can and cannot play? He was yelled at in Brave Comps because he brought a golem into an ESS to fight us when I was in Flagons. And he had a brilliant time. He wanted to go out in a blaze of glory, and
was he?
See,
See,
you know, he was.
the problem is, Rich, when you
Yeah.
go and feed large, expensive ships, it has a negative impact on everyone else around you, because that causes campers, small gangers, you name it, to now be much more interested in the area that you are in when it comes to hunting. You create a negative effect on everyone around you. That is why it is important not to just go randomly, situationally feed
But he
large,
wasn't by
expensive, juicy
himself.
ships.
He had
So
space
here's the
with him,
thing: there
and
is
they
no
left him to
situation.
die.
There's no situation where a golem is a PvP ship, except for the one situation where the PvPer doesn't ever ask for help. Let's say it's not one of those things where it's like, well, he asked for help. They should have went help them. Obviously, if the call was made to not help them, it's because the people around him were just going to die trying to help him.
We
And
had
the
to
fact
go
that
get
no-
more ships to kill him.
I'm
It
sure
sounds
you
like he
did.
had a lot of fun then.
No, he didn't. He was crying, and we actually have the whole logs we kept of
Oh
him
my
crying in
God.
local for 20 minutes,
Can
begging. for
somebody
people to
remind
help him.
me?
You
Can
keep
And
someone
then he
remind me what
dropped
rule one of
Brave.
these? Can someone remind me what rule one of these is?
Don't be a dummy.
Don't undock what you can't afford. Anyway,
There you go. Don't undock what you can't afford to lose. Like, it's pretty simple. Everybody learns that lesson. That guy learned it a hard way. Shit happened.
He never
Well,
learned it. He quit.
you know what? No,
he's in a new corp now.
He's in a new corp. He made his own corp. You know what? I wish him the best, and I know for a fact there's lots of small gang groups who are very interested in experimenting with Marauders, who are very interested in Wingman. So
Let me see who the other.
I hope Luke finds a new place to fly his Marauders without the fear of diplomatic pressure.
Disorderly vagrants is recruiting.
It's the pressure of not being a dumb idiot and losing your golem in stupid and horrendous ways that don't teach you anything about the game.
I mean, I've heard some people have been looking at this new Marauder fit that's doing, 4,000 DPS.
Rich, it's important to remember this is pre-Marauder changes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm aware. But
I'm looking
people are talking
forward
about
to
this new golem that's got 4,000 DPS. Well, I'm going to tell you a
the
secret,
polarized
guys.
golem?
Yeah, the polarized golem. Let me tell you a secret right here. The person who made that post is not only an elite small ganger, but he's also making golems. Follow the money. He made that post to increase his price. You idiots are getting scammed.
Someone in my corp bought a bunch of golems like a few hours before the changes got announced. Now I'm a real fucking suspect of UK. Like, I'm watching.
CCP.
So our golem's actually the GME of EVE Online right now?
Pretty much.
They like tripled in price overnight.
That was like double, I think.
Double.
Jeremy, you
I-
should
like-
buy some golems. Maybe you can
It's
cure
like
those
80%,
master hands of
but
yours.
Have you sold your GME?
But
Fishing
the thing
yet?
about golems is it's not like there's not going to be more made. Like
Yeah.
supply will catch up in about a week here, and then all
I
of a
mean, they
sudden
make
it'll
more. Go ahead.
be whatever.
Well,
Hey, they just make more
buy
slots in
later.
GME from what I've been reading, so same effect.
So, Billy, you said something that I wanna ask you because you said that Marauders would never be a PvP ship, and I don't
No,
like
that's not what I
that.
said.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I
But
heard you say that
CCP
there's
said,
no
wasn't it?
reason that
They currently
Marauders
are
should
not.
be used for PvP or something like that.
We have a PvP Marauder.
I believe
We
my
use the
wording was
golem for
something like,
PvP.
"There's no reason to use a Marauder in PvP except for the one reason," or something like that. I can't remember how I said it.
No one's coming to your
John,
base.
how many people in your alliance fly PvP Marauders besides Grath Telkin?
I know of at
Seven
least
people.
3 people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
off the
Marauders
top of
are a
my
fun
head.
ship to fly if you know what you're doing. But like the
Exactly
problem is,
7.
No one knows what they're doing.
yeah, like if you want to fly a Marauder in PvP, you actually have to be like very understanding of both the ship's limitations, what you can get away with, what you can do with, like the situations you can fly it in, etc. Like the Marauder is not just your Drake where you go put it on a gate and hope things go well, and then cry when nobody comes save you, right? It's if you're flying a Marauder, you need to have a very strong contextual understanding of the situations in which you can use it.
Yeah, the thing about Marauders is that pretty much the antithesis of what the current meta is right now. Like every fleet is MWD Hacs that can go 2,000 meters a second and bail the second anything bad shows up, and Marauders are the complete opposite, where you have to go 0 meters a second, lock yourself on grid, and you're already in a mobile battleship. So, awkward.
Not to
On
mention
a
the
good
price
day.
of a Marauder. If you're just using a cheap fit Marauder, you're wasting your time. Don't even bother.
No
Unless
pores allowed. Thank you.
no
Rich.
pause allowed. It's either bling. You have to have bling. You have to have implants.
Everyone was ragging on me for having like a Pitham X type, wrapper on it, and like everything. I bought faction launchers.
Tom,
for
that's
mine
because they're
'cause I
poor and
could.
they're jealous.
I
You
I
rock
bought
that
faction
bling.
launchers because I could.
I'm
Dawn,
gonna
if they're
fly-
ragging you,
I'm gonna start
Dawn,
flying a T1 meta.
if they are
Marauder,
ragging you,
just to prove.
if they are
Oh,
ragging you for
Marauder.
spending money on your Marauder,
T1 meta,
drop
yeah.
corp and find somewhere else, because I don't want to fly with pause like that. They might.
Who do
They
you get to
might.
fly with, Rich?
I won't go so cheap as I'll just do raw T1.
Not
I'll
Flaming
do T1
Dragon.
He wants to fly with lots of people. Who can he fly with, though?
Well, thank you, Billy. I've actually made a new corp called Garnet Group with the ticker no RMT. So
And it's his corp, and there's no chance he'll get kicked from it.
That's not necessarily true.
And
I'm kind of
Oh,
confused.
God.
He's gonna get cooped, boys.
So your corp does not allow RMT?
N0 RMT, no RMT. Yes, that is correct.
That sounds like a cop out. Like I feel like a corp that's called no RMT would be like the most likely suspect for RMT.
Filing
that's
a
the ticker.
report right now, dude.
Oh,
You know,
I mean,
what I
at least
love
they
is,
should
like,
investigate, right?
I started talking about how much I use my golem,
What
and
the fuck is going?
two people gave me their golem. I got 3 golems for free in HiSec just because they weren't using them.
Can I have one?
So I've got
Giveaway?
one for each Empire space to do missions for whoever I feel like now.
So how good are missions? I've literally never done a mission in my entire life, except for like
They're
one.
steady. They're not a lot of money,
They're
but they're
awful.
steady money.
Level 4s are good if you just want like something to relax in or whatever. You can do level 5s. If you do them right, you can do them relatively risk free.
And Marauders just made level 4s a lot more profitable because of how fast they kill stuff with the double the rate of fire now.
I used up like double my normal amount of torpedoes trying to do this one site, so I got to figure out how to time it better.
You can
That's why you fly a paladin.
You can
Yeah, I'm
plow
excited
through
to
level
try,
3s.
like-
I paladins and delves, so
Yeah,
You
but
can
there were no
try-
Reddit
no.
posts about paladins, though.
Jeremy, you
looking
can
forward to
plow
trying
through level
to go.
3s in a praxis drunk with one eye closed, basically, over and over again.
you can do a level 3 in an Osprey Navy.
Yeah, you have to have both eyes open in that case. But seriously, one eye open, drunk is off your ass, and a praxis will do it.
You just have to know which sites to just like burn through where you don't need to hit kill everything. You can just blow up the target building.
You know
or
what I
something.
want to do? I want to mine a rock. That's what I would like to do in EVE Online.
Why would you
You
want to
should-
mine
you
a
should
rock
fleet up
when
with
you can mine
Dawn.
salt?
I did that on Reddit for the past 3 days. I just want to mine
Okay,
something
nope, nope. I'm sorry. I opened that door and I'm gonna close it because we are not talking about your adventures on Reddit with your insanity. We're not doing
Jeremy is banned from
Jer-
Reddit, ladies
Jeremy-
and gentlemen. We're all saved.
that. Did he get banned
Jeremy-
from Reddit?
He's
Yeah, I
banned
got
from the
banned from
subreddit.
You
Are you
idiot.
going to be the next?
What kind of giant loser do you need to be banned from Reddit of all?
What'd
Hold
you
on.
do to get banned?
How
One
the
that calls
actual
that input
shit
broadcast.
do you get banned from Reddit?
He's banned from the
Exactly.
subreddit. He's banned from
Subreddit,
r
not
slash
actual Reddit.
Jeremy, are you the new Valcorsia now that he's no longer in test?
I've assumed his spirit. Yes.
There must
You should-
always be a Valcorsia. There must
should
always.
legit-
It's the Avatar state.
But yeah, if you want to mine, you should legit just team up with Don. Don loves mining.
Did you whip
Okay.
out a micro penis and say, "Check out my Marauder" or something? Like, what happened?
I
dude?
whipped out some evidence to
Yeesh.
check out this input broadcaster.
Okay, all right. No, you didn't whip out any evidence. You whipped out a bullshit screenshot that didn't show anything, and then people were like, "Yeah, no, you're just dumb. That's how this works." And then you
No
doubled
one knew
down.
how that was
You
worked.
doubled down instead of backing off, and then you sounded like
No
a crazy
one-
person.
No
These are the
one
things that
knew.
happened, Jeremy.
No
Oh,
one knew for
sure.
the first 130 comments that says how it worked. It literally took 130 comments for someone to point that out. Everyone acts like a genius that knew it.
Have you ever read a book called Don
And
Quixote?
yes, I'm actually reading it right now. It's pretty great. Second off, the bot in test, the one I posted, it shows when he spools up in the
Test
group
bots?
he does it.
Oh my god, dude,
Stop
test
this.
bots.
Test
You heard it here
bots,
first.
boy!
bots.
No,
Oh my
don't.
God.
Oh my
Get
god,
him
you
The
said it more than
relay.
3 times.
The
Here we go.
relay.
It's over.
Hello?
Oh, don't say that word around Rich.
Oh my god, you got him all excited.
Your ass is mine now, boy! So bots, huh? Tell me about this botting test.
Well, I'm in a corp, and we use ESI endpoints.
Oh, they do.
I'm sure you would know this because you know all things about EVE Online and can predict perfectly how every change will affect it and what exactly should be done about these things.
Yeah,
But,
I do know.
it
I'm pretty
gives
sure
you-
Kunmi
it
doesn't
gives you-
bot.
It
I'm
gives
pretty...
you a notification when things happen. Like every alliance has one of these, Rich.
Okay, let me tell you right now. As much as my disdain for
Hold
Kunmi,
on,
his playstyle is,
before-
and his ability to multi-box, I would go ahead and say that I believe beyond reasonable doubt that Kunmi does not input broadcast. He is an experienced player who most likely knows how to multi-box and use multi-boxing software and set his clients up that way.
But
And
does
I know
this-
this.
Does this link up with the topic?
No, it links up with the fact that Jeremy here got himself clapped from the subreddit because he couldn't accept this fact. He couldn't accept that somebody
Wait,
could
hold on.
multi-box in
He
that
got
way.
banned from the subreddit for being stupid. If that was the rule, wouldn't everyone be
Oh
banned?
my god,
I'm
everybody
amazed
banned.
that Jeremy got banned, but all these other fucking idiots that post every day about dumb shit. Jeremy
listen.
speedrun that ban, dude.
I became a martyr, and that is
You
what
did
their
not
mistake
become a
was.
martyr. You became a moron.
Do you know how many people I
Wait, I
asked?
don't think you
Jeremy.
became a moron.
Do you know
I
how
think you
people
started
asked
as
and
one.
started complaining to me about Reddit and asked about the situation because I got banned and I posted about it?
You posted
Like,
about
they're-
getting banned?
Yeah, I
That's a
posted
good
about
idea.
getting
That's
banned in
always a good
test.
idea. If you get banned from
And-
something, you should post somewhere else
Oh,
about that ban.
I
Yeah,
see. Okay.
And they were all like, "What'd you get banned for?" And I just explained to them like, "Wow," we're starting and it's good. It's going good.
Are you starting your own Reddit now?
Is there a
No.
petition? Is there a
I
petition I can
almost.
sign?
With blackjack and hookers?
Well, I wasn't gonna
We
say that.
we
'cause
are we are formulating plans right now.
plans. Okay, you're gonna invade Reddit. All right, I got it. So you heard it here first, guys. Jeremy and the Dare, Mr. Paper Hands himself, is going to invade Reddit because he got banned for being a moron. Learn
I'm not
from
gonna
this.
invade Reddit.
Learn from this, and don't be a moron.
Wait, can you
And-
actually get banned for being a moron? Because I want to go on there and just report everyone and let what's his face do his thing.
It happens.
What message did they accompany the ban with, Jeremy?
They did. They told me that. Hold on, I will post it in here because it's legitimately I can't say the word for it.
Why can't you say
But
the word for
they
it?
didn't give me a message for it or anything. It just said I was permanently banned. They didn't give me a message or anything.
What's the word that you can't say? Is it like
It's
a
the R
derogatory
it's the R word. It is the R.
Use derogatory terms, dude. Shaking my head.
I think are they
Republican?
Retired?
That's actually worse than the one he used, probably.
Well, sorry, I
Oh,
muted
dear.
my
you might
mic for
just got
3 whole
TCP banned.
seconds, and you guys just got quiet.
Sorry, I was getting this. I want to point out the part where the mod says it's trivial to activate 30 mods in one tick if you have your windows laid out right. That was the part that got me there.
Oh, so
Are we
you're...
talking about the input broadcasting cheater guy?
Yes.
Oh, I
My
see. A challenger approaches.
the great Jeremy Nadari crusade on Reddit, which is what my being banned this morning.
It
Yeah,
has
Billy,
accomplished
Test has a
nothing.
new Valcorsia.
I have a bigger question. After something like that, how do you remain in test?
What are you talking about?
Why would I kick
We
him from
can-
court?
The fact
Yeah.
that one part of Jeremy's argument is poorly discerned does not make the rest of his argument, incorrect.
Because if
Like
you
I
were
don't
to
know
look,
if you've actually like lost a ship to Mr. Researcher, but the speed at which 20 Munins all manage to instantly lock you together is perhaps a little unnatural.
Yeah,
No, I think what he meant was the fact that Jeremy's in Test Alliance, which is the Reddit official alliance or whatever, and that he's now banned on Reddit. So how can he remain in Test?
There you
If
go.
you
Thanks,
look
Ranger,
in
for
Trash
filling
Talk
in the blanks.
Tuesdays top rules, Jeremy has not broken any of those rules, so he is good to stay.
you only needed to be in Reddit if you're in Dreaded, I think, right, Billy?
You don't need to be in Reddit, or you don't need to be on Reddit if you're in any Corpin test.
I thought you had to have a Reddit
yeah.
account for one of
Reddit
them.
started from.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so let me
Ah.
let me get this straight. So, is there any evidence that would say that this guy is input broadcasting other than like
There are
stuff
plenty
happening
of
very quickly?
I have videos. I can provide you logs of, like today, he locked me up in 14 different meetings at the exact same time, which the world record for most buttons pressed in a second is like 16 or 17. I've seen them. I've seen up to 23 button presses a second unverified, but he locks regularly at or above world speed APMs or button presses per second.
I've
Maybe he's just
seen
shy.
that man. I've seen that man do a 20-man solo bombing run in one tick. I have not recorded that, but I've seen it, and
And you got reimbursement.
people got reimbursed for that. So to me, that says
It's not like
he's doing
he's
something
never
wrong.
been banned before for it either, right?
He claimed on Reddit to have not been banned. I'm not sure if that's
I
true.
don't think the guy's flat out input broadcasting, but I'm pretty sure he's macroing of some
Yeah,
sort because like
he's definitely-
that shit's not.
Like I have him cloaking a scepter group in perfect threes, even though he could do it a lot faster if he just smashed F1, right? Like
Well, you have to remember too that like Eve measures everything with 1 full seconds. So
Yeah.
like if you hit something at the beginning of a second and at the end of the second, it still counts in that 1 second. So like some of this stuff is going to be really hard to measure because Eve's just going to be like, "Oh, he clicked these 15 things. Let's just round it to the next like server tick or whatever."
Yeah, but I mean, if you click 15 things in 1 second, that's still really fast, right?
I just did like 12 without even trying. All right, so
Can you do a solo bombing run with 20
And
characters
it's not
at a
clicking with
time?
his mouse, right? Like
Okay,
it's very
so I'm
easy
gonna
to do servers like so you press 1 F1, 2 F1, 3 F1 like cuz you have them cuz you can use IS Boxer for non-input broadcasting to set it up to switch to tabs or not tabs, I guess switch to clients, right? So I press 1 so it goes to my main, I press 2 it goes to my dictor alt. And so that's how a lot of like multi-boxers use it. They just
Yeah.
are able to
I'm not
switch.
saying
They
that.
don't
I'm
physically alt
saying
tab.
it's literally the rate that he presses buttons combined with the delay on like the actual machine receiving it that makes me think he's macroing or something like
Are
that
your
because there's
fingers
no
made of rocks?
Listen, I'm just going by what math says and what the world record for button presses in a second is. Nothing official, nothing concrete, like speculation or anything like that. Just math
Okay.
and the world record.
All right, I'm gonna break a world record. What's the world record?
The world record is 17 button presses in 1 second.
Okay.
Consecutive, not at the same time.
Okay, so that's clicks, spacebar counter. So I'm gonna do the spacebar counter. Do it for 5 seconds. All right. Okay, I did it 33 times in 5 seconds. That's 6 hits per second. I'm on the way to being a world record holder.
You're
boys.
1/3 of the way, baby.
I mean,
and today I literally landed on grid with him, and I was in a rapier. I was instantly locked by his Hugin and like 7 of his of his things all at once. I have a log of him hitting me 8 times in 1 second. Like,
So think, is it possible if he hits you 8 times in 1 second? Because I just did 6 times
well, he hit
hitting
me 8
space
times and I
bar.
died. I was locked a lot more than just those 8. But to lock someone as soon as
Sure.
they land and shoot, like,
That in one button though. You just click shoot and click the target. Like,
Mm.
so maybe he has like I don't know, a key set up where he immediately targets top in his broadcast list or whatever.
I don't know. Can you even set up a key for that?
I don't know. I
Set up a
thought you
key.
could.
You can set up keys for anything. But like, so if you have, so let's do the math on it, right? Well, not the math. Fuck math, because let's not do math. But let's say that you have your overview in the exact same spot for every single client. You pop up right at the moment that you come in, you pop up on his overview. He spams through, and let's say his tilde key is his switch different clients. Says
What?
tilde F1 click, tilde F1 click, tilde F1 click at the same spot. You can do that very quickly, right? Like, it's not hard to do it quickly. I'm sure it would take some practice, but just because he can do it quickly doesn't mean that he's input broadcasting. Now, personally, I think he's probably input broadcasting because I'm familiar with the person and he's kind of slimy, but it is what it is. But I don't think that he presses buttons fast is good enough evidence to condemn some. You know what
Well, I
I
mean, you
mean?
can't like. It'd be really hard to. It's really hard to. How do it's hard to because I don't think he like I don't think he input broadcasts. It's a lot harder to prove macro usage than input broadcasting, right? Because if all it was like sort dragons, whatever lock shoe, and it's 30 people hitting you in the same second. That's easy to prove, right? It's a lot harder to prove when it do like cloaks his stuff in groups of 3 and does stuff in like groups of 6 or 7, right? Instead of doing them all at once.
So what is he input broadcasting or is he using macros? 'Cause
I think people use shorthand for both. I think he's macroing, not input broadcasting. I think it'd be really. I think I definitely do not think he's input broadcasting.
So
He's macro.
which accusation got you banned from Reddit?
Neither of them. It was a meme that got me banned from Reddit. I'll post now.
Posted a
Meme got
low
you
effort
banned from
meme not
Reddit?
on Monday, and that got him got, dude.
I
Oh,
posted.
really?
You know the meme that's like such and such thing is completely worthless. Like wow, this thing's completely worthless from Gravity Falls.
Uh-huh.
I put the text. A legitimate complaint about a goon swarm member breaking EULA. Oh, I
And
gotta find it
that was what got you banned, was a meme?
Yes.
That seems interesting.
You
Mm,
probably got banned for being annoying.
I mean, I don't think that's a bannable offense, but
gang,
if
I'm
it
trying
was,
to
yeah.
up the trash talk. I don't know how many times I can call Jeremy a moron on live TV. Like, what do you
Four
want me
more
to say
times.
to him? I already said he was a Dumbo, getting banned from Reddit, and now I'm just trying to make sure that he knows that he has no evidence.
Were you banned from r/Eve or Reddit in
R/Eve,
general?
R/Eve.
Well, they could ban you for whatever they want to ban you.
Avery, he has really nice hair. He'll ban you.
I don't know. I mean, like, if you look at his video from like a year and a half ago, he does not. He has like a fourth of the APM he claims to have now.
Okay. So
And
he got
I
better.
I really have a hard time thinking that in between now and the less than a year it was where he did his 21-man bombing run that he somehow upped his APM by like a factor of 4.
Okay, fair. All right. Well, we've spent too much time talking about this because I allotted approximately 0 minutes for the topic, and somehow you were able to squeeze out like 20, which first off is not fair, and second off is very rude to try to pull one over on me in my old age.
Well, Billy's a lot more articulate than I, so if he's here if he wants to talk about it too.
I mean, Billy said that he agrees with you, but that your evidence was flawed.
I
and
mean,
that
if you
one
look at
piece, one
the
piece of
Reddit post I
evidence
actually
didn't
make,
make it. One piece of flawed evidence doesn't make the claim untrue.
because if you look at the comments I made in that post, I also listed a bunch of other logs and things like that that were pretty high quality evidence. And Goons was like, "No!" and just downvoted me to oblivion.
Jeremy, is it really as important as you think it is?
I mean,
Actually, he is pretty relevant in the war. Like, I hate to give Wrathborn a little too much credit, but he's causing usually a response fleet a night worth of attention. Not usually like heavy response, but what he's
yeah.
been doing has made an impact. He's probably killed 10 jump bridges on his own or something like that. Just because of the way that he's able to kind of manipulate his guys. It's pretty give respect to your enemy where it's due, right? And he's put a lot out there. But it's definitely very frustrating for a lot of our guys watching somebody run an entire Munin fleet on their own and having to try and deal with that. So I can definitely feel the frustration.
So, Jeremy, if you think he's input broadcasting and you have evidence, did you actually report it to CCP?
I did, and Billy has seen the Eve Gmail. They told me that they don't send them stuff, just report him as bot. Is what multiple people have been told, actually, not just Billy and myself. But
And then they won't tell you what comes of it because that's
no,
how the rules work or whatever.
they just say don't email us, just keep reporting his bot. There's no like, yes, we're investigating, yes, we're keeping the point, just report him as bot. Like some dude got he told us he got like a 3-line sentence that said like just keep reporting him or whatever.
That seems kind of pointless. If nothing
Yeah.
ever comes of it, like why would you keep doing it?
It
Pretty
is
funny,
also a
'cause-
thing that adds to the frustration of players.
Pretty funny because CCP's been SRPing the losses study course for ages, but that's like all they've done on the matter. Like, they've not been like, no, this guy's good, no, this guy's bad. They just say keep reporting him, and nothing ever happened.
So what are they reimbursing the losses under? Like what's the claim for that? Like
I don't know. I'd have to ask someone in my corp. I haven't
technical
been reimbursed
issues?
myself, but there's people in my corp that have. If not Miller's here, then he can answer, but I don't think he's awake right now.
Okay, perfect.
I got a question for Rain. So, are you angry with CCP for them fixing the fact that monitors couldn't get on structure kill mills before they did anything with kill mills for Logi?
I mean, I know the monitor thing is probably easier to fix, but at least I'm glad they're at least paying attention that FC's went on kill mills because maybe that means they're also paying attention when
They
Logic
gave us a
went on kill
fucking
mills.
drug hole as well.
I saw that.
Here's what I'll say. I have advocated repeatedly for Logion kill mails.
Anybody out there says that doesn't want
And yes, it is significantly more than what the monitor change was.
A lot of people don't realize, like, a lot of folks will sit there and say, oh, Rain only wants Logi on kill mails because she's a Logi pilot and kills about her kill board. But Logi on kill mails actually shows a ton of intel that you wouldn't get otherwise. And there's people, like, if you're smart enough, you can create tools for it now without the Logi on the kill mails to identify who in your fleet is slacking, who on maybe the enemy fleet is slacking, and all this other shit that a lot of folks, may not realize. Because, I mean, if you're going to spy on anyone, you might as well throw them in a Logi ship, do the cap chain, but have logistics for, and then let everything fall apart because, like, why the hell not? And
You
like,
know
no,
what the danger of this is,
knowing
Ray?
who the good Logi are and taking them out first.
You know what the danger is? Somebody will get these stats and they're going to make a bot to evaluate every individual
100%.
player and assign how many, I guess, what they believe their skill is based on their performance.
Yeah, why
And
not?
you're going to end up in fleets like, oh, my fleet is full of people who are 50% in terms of effectiveness. I can't fight them. They're all I can't fight them. They've all got 80% effectiveness ratings. I can't do this.
We're getting fucking Warcraft logs in WoW. Everyone has to Warcraft logs in Eve, where everyone has to get good passes to get accepted into corps and
No, I
shit.
mean, you can do that now though, right? So a while ago, the CSM, I think it was the CSM as CCP, they're like, hey, can we get, like, if you can see damage players do, can you also see like reps that happen, or like, the NOS getting muted or whatever, like similar, like something like that with like Cap and Logi. And so that CCP actually added it, and all you do is you get something that reads the logs, right? Which isn't botting. It's not like some far out crazy tool, that's illegal in the game. You can get a legitimate tool that sits there and reads that, right? So me as a Logi pilot, right, if I'm Logi Anchor, I can sit there, right? I know I'm getting primaried, so I can sit there and run this tool that registers all my incoming reps, all my cap, etc. And then when I see, hey, Joe Schmo never fucking reps me, and I'm the Logi Anchor, so he needs to have me locked to anchor on me, or should have me locked to anchor on me. And I notice this, and I can be like, hey, why is this guy slacking? Like, what is wrong? Either we need to work with him to have him do better, or maybe he's like, I don't know, easiest answer is like a spy, or just an asshole or something. But there's so much that can be done with that, and like, I don't know, it's like super easy to figure out and to find. Like, so like other things, right? So remote SIBOs and stuff. If you have some people gate camping and they have their remote SIBO alts like SIBOing them, right? They get on all these kill mails. It's very easy to figure out, hey, these are their alts because they're always remote SIBOing them and they're always helping them. And now we know who their alts are, even though they may not be flying like a PvP ship. They're just like an individual orbiting the gate at 20, just remote SIBOing some dude in his like hick or whatever. It's so much intel, and it's really, really helpful if you know how to use it. Maybe I
It
just gave away all
says
the secrets or something. I don't know.
it says here that you not only did you fail to take your drugs, but you also failed to broadcast for reps, and you didn't receive any reps at all. SRP denied.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly it, right? So if I have a tool that reads broadcasts, reads when reps are received, etc., I can tell people, and we've told that to our FCs before. Our FC will be like, "Why do we have Munins dead?" And we'll say nobody broadcasted. We have 5 Munins dead. We have 0 broadcasts. You'd be like, you can't see anyone who's dying. And then there's other things too, right? So I don't know if you guys know this, but when there's any Titan fight, it's super easy for like literally every FC to sit there and receive the Titan kill mails and look at them and see who doesn't have Doomsday 5. And if you're in a Titan fleet and you're sitting there with the big guys, like blasting nerds off the field, and you don't have Doomsday 5, you're probably not going to get asked to do primaries. And then you're also the good news is you probably won't be primaried because you don't have Doomsday 5, so your guns are, or not your guns, your Doomsday is weaker than everyone else's.
I only have Doomsday 4.
Oh my, fucking get him out of here, dude.
What a fucking scrub.
I have Doomsday 4, and I was calling Dread primaries on the M2 breakout.
Sandrin, stop right there. Go contact Dr. Spodumane in Talking in Stations. Have him contract you some skill injectors. Right now. I don't want to ever hear this again. This is coming from me.
I only have Doomsday.
Do you know how many skill injectors it is to inject a Titan pilot with Doomsday 5?
He can.
Yeah, I have 70 mil SP. That would be.
Oh,
It's like
that's actually tolerable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm relatively new to the game. Remember, so that'll be. It's like 60 days training for Doomsday 5.
You ever Titan on your main?
Now I have an alt training still, but it's still got a while off. It's got like 150 days left for all 4.
Billy, are
Yeah.
you okay with this? Are you okay with his Titan
Yes,
being on his main?
we allow 4s in our skills. Thank you very much.
I'm more concerned with the Titan being on your main.
I mean, I
if we get through this M2 Hellcamp thing with people having their Titans on their mains and make it through that, nothing else really matters.
Kayla, you
Like-
remember the person who did the interview the other day? Kayla had a Titan on her main. She just plays her alt now.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because that's how I became Villy, right? Is you play your alt instead of your main.
Yeah, I mean, my FC character is Stan Luna. Half of Eve doesn't realize that's me and think we're 2 separate people. But I mean, I can do 90% of the stuff I do on Eve on my other characters.
Yeah. I'm all for Logion kill mails, or I mean just expanded, more detailed kill mails anyway for the intel. Not just from like a, oh look how pretty my kill board is bullshit, but more of a like I can actually use the intel for me personally, like to grow as well as to help others grow too. I can also use it to pretend to be like a spy or some shit.
I'd love for like a Warcraft logs kind of thing for Eve if there wasn't going to be the obligatory elitism that comes with it, like
dungeon points or whatever, dragon points.
The ability
No, more like
to,
parsing and bullshit like
yeah,
that.
like the ability to analyze the, like you can get really in depth with Warcraft logs and like analyze every
Oh,
tiny little
dude,
thing.
I hear people like, oh, but I'm in like the top 10% parse, and this guy's only like 50%. We don't want him. It's like, holy fuck, like don't even.
I was a top 1% raider, so
Yeah,
thumbs up.
exactly.
But like,
It's like,
the
can you
the
press
amount
your
of-
buttons in perfect succession for fucking 12 minutes?
Well,
yes or no?
It's not
amount of
just about
information-
pressing the buttons. It's also about moving around the raid stage
how
and making sure that
adapting
you're dodging
to all the
mechanics,
mechanics.
staying
Oh
alive.
no, you walk.
Dance revolution with your fingers, basically.
If a swirly thing shows up on the ground, go over there.
but like the amount of information that you can read and like you can improve from Warcraft logs would be great to have. And like the amount of optimization that you can do with that information is great. But
How? Explain. How could you
I mean,
possibly?
I did this and this happened. In future, if I do this, this will happen again. I am no longer having to feely craft. I can look at the statistics and say, when I burnt at this angle, at this speed, I applied this well, and this isn't something that I can just do in Python. Like, there's can be weird, unique scenarios that you can't really simulate effectively in Python. Like, you get fucking void bombed by 2 void bombers, and then your hardeners are off, half your hardeners are on. How like your rate of kill. Like, there's so many weird things that can happen that you can't just theory craft. You have to actually play and see.
Now here's the real question: would you actually do all that?
Yeah, I did it in
And
WoW.
yeah, but WoW is totally different from Eve.
No,
You don't
I
get.
mean, you review like
Well,
it-
PVE it probably has an enormous immediate impact, and then people will figure out how to use it in PvP in certain situations. If I
you
take
know,
these
it's like
5
If you
ships,
give people the tools, they will
they will
find
find a way. Yeah, exactly.
like
Yeah.
I was like top 5 Mythic Plus team in Europe at one point. Like, I did a lot of log analysis. Like, whenever you're not playing, it's sat there looking at logs and just being like, all right, here's where this happened. This is the minor knock-on effect of this impacted us and lost us the
Well, I
run,
mean,
stuff like
fair
that.
point. It would give you something to do during crippling tie-dye.
Yeah, I mean, we sit there in crippling tie-dye with Python open, dude. Like, on the fucking NPC Delve Keep Star fights when there was those combat inties. I mean, Progod talked about it on, I think it was FC chat, where those combat inties we couldn't lock because the call time was too long. By the time the call went through, they'd be out of range. So we then sat there in Python mid-fight, theory crafting a doctrine, and then imported it from Jita and brought it on grid mid-fight.
That was definitely one of my favorite parts of those fights. Literally making a doctrine, importing it mid fucking fight.
We showed up halfway through with the brand new doctrine.
That is pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna try not to give you credit for that, but fuck, that is
I gotta
kind of
admit it's
cool.
fun, but it was very cool. But that kind
And
of stuff does,
and the doctrine worked too.
yeah,
Like completely
really
shut that
well.
shit down.
I would hope so. Oh man.
You have CCP noticing you in chat about
Yeah.
the quest.
Equivalent to
You
Warcraft
had-
logs will be breakdown of how perfect your application was, number of hits, crits, and so forth. So like a damage meter. Damage meters would be cool, but
but
there is
with
one.
like,
There is a damage meter for Eve already, isn't there?
but with history and like damage sources and
Imagine how much tie that's going to make.
I don't know,
Well,
No,
it'd
it's
be-
done already though. The problem is that it's not a problem, but like the thing is this is all done already. It's just not on a kill mail, right? So like your messages and log and your history, like that's great for damage, but you can't go back for like your entire day and say, let me pull all the damage I've done and do some parsing and blah blah blah. You just have what it shows and like that's pretty much it. So you can't take the history of it. Like that's what's super frustrating sometimes. But it's all
like
there.
you have to like do log analysis live on TTT and explain how this shit works.
Please don't do log analysis live on TTC. That would be worse than a freestyle rap battle. But what we can do, so Signal says not a damage meter. Well, okay, so Warcraft logs is basically a huge breakdown of all the things that happen in a raid fight. But some of the damage meters have that stuff too. They don't have like, well, I guess Warcraft logs would be more in depth than a damage meter would be. Wow.
Oh
No,
boy, here we go again.
don't link me
More
Warcraft
in
logs,
the
dude.
formation talk is WoW talk.
Yeah,
Well,
now we're talking about World of Warcraft. This is a World of Warcraft
what
show.
else is happening? Dom, topic's yours. Floor is yours. You asked about Logion kill mails, and somehow we ended up talking about Warcraft logs.
The other thing is, I didn't know anything about the damage assault or the assault damage control changes. That was a surprise to me. I didn't know that was coming.
I didn't
Yeah,
expect
I
that
didn't
so
know
soon.
exactly. I didn't expect any of that so soon. And I certainly didn't expect it with changes based on feedback that we gave.
Yeah, we've got
Ridiculous.
iteration this week. That was great.
Yeah, like I
Don't.
I would normally say like, oh, we have to trash talk, but we can't because that was legit. Like there was conversation about Marauders on Friday and like all over Reddit, and then suddenly there's these changes to Marauders that mirror what people were asking for. And I'm just sat here thinking that was the quickest turnaround that I've ever seen for like a positive change to go into the game that was based on solely feedback.
Well, the reality is what's happening is, they have an idea of what they want to do, and they put together a patch and they say, okay, we want to, fix Marauders, and this is our thing, right? And but they're coming to, I think, more of a realization that like the complexity of Eve means that no matter how much they go through it and they talk it through with the CM, there's always going to be stuff that they can miss, right? So you put it on Sissy and you say, okay, what can the player base come up with? And the player base, will then instantly tell you everything they fucking think, right, about what's going to happen. And then you kind of, have the ability to take that feedback and then run it through yourself, run it through the CCM, tweak it, do whatever you want to do. And in some situations, you're going to end up with how do I put this? With a better product, right? Like you're able to then adjust it based on feedback and your own opinions and advice from experts, etc. So
I'm not a big fan of the changes to the hacks, the removal of the micro warp drive, sig radius. I think that's a terrible idea. Now we're back to using, well, yes, especially for more kitey compositions and people who are more focused on, say, manual piloting and individual skill. It's removal of the sig radius means that, well, using this the sig bonus and transversal to dodge attacks and mitigate damage, that's far less of an option now. And I presume, especially against capital ships, it'll be back to 100 MN ships, which honestly is...
None of these changes really affect anything at the small gang level. Let's be honest here.
It does.
For like Vagabonds, let's say, I think the sig radius is going to hurt because Vagabond is used pretty heavily in.
Yeah, but nobody with a... I don't know, like the Vagabond when it comes to like abyssal shit, sure, but like...
Yeah.
Like, explain to me where, that kind of a difference is going to make a meaningful impact, and I don't know where that is.
It makes a more meaningful impact, especially against grids, against say horde dreads and super capitals, and even carriers, super carriers and carriers. The application of fighters against.
Do small gangs fight those things?
We get them dropped on us enough, and they do provide for a reasonable paycheck.
The last time I saw a super carrier take on small gangs, it meant one of two things: either the small gang was going to be running away in 30 seconds, or the super carrier was dead, or soon to be dead, and he didn't know it yet. Like there's not a whole lot of middle ground there where super carriers and small gangs fight each other.
And what about regular? That is strongly the case. That can be said. Especially, well, it's because in those cases, if a super carrier is being dropped, it's multiple and it's overwhelming us. But in the case of where it's one or two, where it
then
becomes...
usually you're nuking the shit out of it, right? You
blast the fighters. Not exactly. Honestly, a lot of the times the super carriers fighters will actually bring us, seriously threaten our ships many times because...
Yes, I understand if they were.
But now, because we have a micro warp drive bonus...
If your gang is strong enough, you will basically be able to handle the fighters, or if it's not strong enough, you won't, right? Like, I mean, there's very little middle ground.
What about larger response fleets like Feroxes? Having the micro warp drive bonus helps tremendously against warding off some of their attacks, especially if the Ferox fleet or the Munin fleet isn't so big that they can alpha us, but reasonable enough of a threat that, but still engageable.
I think one of the things about the having a carrier dropped on the mana gang or whatever is it's a pretty common thing to just hold a carrier tackled so that a response fleet shows up, and this might make it a little bit harder to do that, which produces content, but I don't really like the hacks are very strong. I don't think this is going to change anything about hacks being meta, and I'm pretty sure Vinny would agree with me with that. Like MWD hacks are still just going to be what we use for most things.
This isn't going to change. Like the Munin, the Eagle, the Cerberus.
Cerberus is probably going to get stronger from this change.
All of the I can't say the Zealot because I feel the Zealot really suffers from this. It's still slow. The micro
Who
warp drive is
uses the
slow.
Zealot?
But
I use the Zealot, thank you. I believe Initiative also used the Zealot during the early stages of the
yeah, and
the
then they
burning a
fed them. That's
fountain.
why they stopped
Who
using
uses
them.
the micro warp drive zealots?
I do, thank
I
you.
mean, for
Anyway,
Nano Gang, you do MWD, but like
Yeah.
the reason I don't like this change is it makes there is less skill expression for flying hacks, which I guess is probably the same point that Rich is arguing, but from a different angle, where it's like it's really hard to fuck up FCing them now because you're pretty much always going to be applying damage. Like before, there was a lot of there's a lot of maneuvering
When
to
you're
match
flying against
transversal.
other hacks, yes.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you
But-
at least do a tiny bit of say, like, do the best you can with your monitor to say match transversal, right? To
match
gain
transversal to
Yeah.
burn away
Now
from this target whilst minimizing transversal from these 3 other fleets. So there's
Y-
less of that now because everyone's always just going to be applying because your SIG is like 3 times as big as it was before.
In my case, yeah. Before I would be focusing on my piloting to maximize my transversal and dodging attacks. Now, what's the point? They're gonna hit me and I'm gonna hit them.
I don't mind the change. I think hacks obviously do need changes. If you actually wanted to make hacks less viable, it'd be reduce their speed. Spoiler alert: speed is why we use them. But I don't like this.
Don't give
being
away
the
our
way that
fucking
they make-
secrets.
Bubbles are bad, basically. Carrier fighters are bad. Speed make bubble and carrier fighter go away.
But new update, yeah, stasis webification probes.
That I'm actually pretty scared of as well. Like, I don't know how viable it is to land them. I haven't done any testing. This would be another thing that Warcraft Logs is good for, by the way.
Fuck off,
But,
Warcraft logs, dude.
Don't.
I'm kind of scared. Like 2-second delay for 40% speed penalty is pretty fucking tough if you can land that.
Yeah.
Well, I was
and-
watching Rise and Signal on shout out to Signal, by the way, in the chat. I was watching Rise and Signal on Pando's FC chat, and it seems like initially the stasis webification probes, they came and like they were trying to come up with a way to not sacrifice the interdictor, but it seems like now they've just accepted that interdictors are ammo at this point, and it's just fuck it, whatever, go for it type stuff.
I actually like the interdictor changes because for a while now the Flycatcher was the small gang interdictor. Now there's more options like the Eris. The Eris actually is going to be a very fun interdictor to use combat wise.
It's pretty funny because it's
I
the
wanna-
opposite of that for
It'll
Nullbots,
be-
where it's like sabers were the meta, and now I think flycatchers are going to come more into the meta because
Oh,
they can
you gotta
actually
be
catch
kidding me.
reps.
I want to go roam Losec in a slave pod heretic now.
Oh come
I
on! The heretic is used to catch supers. That's
I
what
want to
it's used for.
go. I want to go back to the days when sabers and interdictors weren't like approaching 100 million ISK for a fully fit one CC plus.
Well, we've
That's what I
asked
would
for
like
that
to do.
for the better part of the last year or so, and at this point, it's just a wait and see. So I mean,
Hurry up and wait.
yeah,
Hurry
basically.
Up. Hurry up and hope you don't run out of ammo before the war ends. Basically.
I mean, if you run out of
You got
ammo
lots of time.
before this war ends, yeah, well, there'll be plenty of like loot boxes that you can get from logging in that'll have ammo in them. Like, I'm sure you'll be fine. No sweat, dude.
And I'm pretty sure
like
the
War
reason
Thunder, get golden ships.
the reason why we use the Flycatcher in small gang is because the light missiles just apply so well. It
Cool.
it hits tackle, it bubbles. What's not to love about it?
Yeah, but Rich, the reason why you use a heretic in Losec is because with a slave pod, there isn't anything tankier that you could fit into a small plex.
Destroyers suck.
Wait, do bubbles work in low sec?
Oh,
They shouldn't.
No.
Okay.
Any type of.
you don't put
I
a
also-
bubble.
well,
You don't put any kind of bubbles in the Losec heretic.
I am looking forward
Yeah, but it'd be
to
so
the
cool.
rail Eris. That sounds fun.
I'm looking
Fairies
forward.
don't use rails, dude.
Have you guys seen that old Progod video, like Pat the stiletto holding him forever?
oh yeah.
I'm
When a
looking
god
forward
is
to the
challenged-
equivalent of that, but with like a Flycatcher just tanking an entire hack fleet for 5 minutes because of the tiny fucking SIG and having the EHP of a hack now.
But so if I want to run a scenario by you. So say that you're fighting a battleship fleet, and the alliance or coalition that the battleship fleet belongs to, you're in, say you're in Munich, or something, and they're spamming sabers and flycatchers at you with bubbles, and you can't move. How scared are you now with the wubble change and then also the change to the MWD sig radius reduction? Like on a scale of 1 to 10 as
That would be
fleet
pretty
commanders.
terrifying.
Wobbles I'm not too afraid of with hacks because we are still, everyone flies supersonic hacks that go like 2k a second. I think we can still avoid them. Obviously, like I said earlier, I haven't tested it,
Well, it
but
increased the range too. So like you've got what, 40? No, not 40. Is it 15 kilometers now?
It's
well,
15 kilometers in 2 seconds for 40%. Yes.
but we're already like there's already a pretty decent focus on hazing dictators that come to your fleet so that you can disengage whenever. Like maybe we'll have something where it's like we have a drone bunny in fleet who's just everyone assign your drones to these two guys and they just sit there the whole time painting
What
dictators to die. But like I don't know if it's going to make much of a change
what
because
I have said a few times since wobbles have been introduced is their application to fighters are very useful because it slows them down enough where you can pretty well apply with anything to them. Like if I do this in X-wing fleets all the time. If you just slow down a fighter, it everything applies to it. Like it's all the fighter is just sig tank basically, and once you slow him down, it's a lot easier to kill him. Which applications like that, and say if you want to get your cap plate off, you can just wobble your cap plate, and they just all warp off in like half the time now. If you're trying to extract, let's say.
no E-warp is actually a huge thing. That's nice.
No, yeah. I really thought about that. No E-warp, like just eliminates the M2 hell camp because you just have everyone log on, immediately stop, join fleet,
No,
jump out.
it was for like so you don't have to bubble your fleet when you're fighting. You can just say, "Hey, I don't want to E-warp when I disconnect," and you'll just sit there.
Oh,
What was I going
Yeah,
to say
good
about
tool.
wobbles? Another thing that I'm not particularly concerned about wobbles with is it's already a pain in the ass to get enough dictators in your fleet. Like people just don't like flying dictators, and not many people have dictator alts trained, unfortunately.
Train
So,
dictator alts.
Well, yeah, but if
so
you get
It's
to
not
the
that people don't
point,
like flying dictators. It's people like don't like just randomly dying at the start of every
yeah,
fight.
because that's what happens with dictators. So people don't like just suiciding. So it's like you need quite a few of them for it to have a significant impact on a fight. You'd need to land enough wobbles, and I don't like. It'd take a pretty decent amount of like pushing people and giving incentives for people to fly dictators and train dictator alts to get enough to make it impactful.
well, I mean, people want to be impactful. Like that's the thing is people want to within fleets, like people fly Logi because they want to be impactful. People fly Lynx because they want to be impactful. If the interdictors now with the buffed up wobbles and like the ability to make it so that an enemy fleet can be wiped out if you train 2 Dictor alts and you just fucking go and you warp over in front of a fleet, you drop an interdiction probe and a web probe, I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. Heartbeat. One
hey,
single
it
heartbeat.
looks like Snuffed Out and Fraternity are having like a Titan fight in low sec.
Right
What?
now?
Red.
Oh, no wonder my fucking it's 44% tie-dye in Torinos. Who the hell is causing this shit?
It's
Onan
an
and everyone
Aunenen. Aninian.
Onan.
It's
Onan.
Frat
Titans
Oh,
and
has
Dreads and
Titans
Super
and
Carriers.
there's Dreads
It's like
dying.
Nullsecnia and Frat with at least
Bro.
one multiple
I've
Nullsecnia
seen a
supers.
lot of Nullsechnia and snuffed dead dreads. I guess they dread bombed Frat.
Snuffed out Aeon or Snuffed out Apostle is dead. So
Nullsechnia is on Frat's side, aren't they?
Redline, you have that
correct.
character close?
Oh, absolutely not.
That's actually that's a lot of fucking dead dreads. Like
Stand by, stand by. I'm 9 jumps away. I'll make my way.
it's actually
Go,
looks
Rich,
really
go.
big.
Reporter Rich on the
Richmond
scene.
reporting live from the scene.
Yes.
Current BR is at 109 to 161.
Beautiful.
there's at least 5 Frat Titans on this grid. So
There is the battle
Dude,
report shows like
that's
20
less
Titans ish.
that's less than the Sotio that Tess lost this week. What do you mean?
Sotia Teslas.
Maybe it was last week. I don't
It
know.
was last.
No, Sekia's got.
Dude,
some
I can't
supers too.
fucking train my ult at still. This is gay. How can you fly under the tide?
I
Wait,
put the
so-
BR in
Oh,
Twitch
it's
chat.
just warp, dude.
Let me get this straight. NSH and FRT are currently fighting.
No, they're fighting together.
NSH and FRT are on one side against.
There's also
Snuftel,
dock
Roach,
workers.
Oh,
dock
that makes sense.
workers.
This is like the low sec brawl to end all brawls.
What in the world?
I feel like I've heard those words, those exact words before.
The low sec. I mean, hey, anytime that Snuffed Out loses anything, I'm pretty happy about it.
I mean, if one side has supers and the other side does not, this is going to be a very one-sided battle report.
You know,
At
that
least
is a
to say
good
this should be
segue as
interesting.
well. It's a really good segue into the TTT topic. And I don't mean Trash Talk Tuesday, I mean the Tranquility Trading Tower.
The Tranquility Nothing Will Happen Tower.
Yes,
mean,
you mean where Snuff
possibly.
is now getting owned by every alliance.
I mean,
So-
I don't
The
think there's been any fighting yet, so
So let's be clear here. You are all literally getting played by Snuff. Like
Billy,
they
this
put
is
in a
big
Word
news, dude. No, Billy,
They
this
put
is big
they made a
news.
Reddit thread, and you're now all talking about them. They are literally just attention whores, and you're like, oh my god, here they come. It's like,
Billy, you're just
Jesus.
mad they killed your Titan that one time.
this might be the first
Snuff has
time
never
that I
killed my
admit
Titan.
this. Oh, they killed some of your Titans, but anyway, this
Did
might
they?
be the first time I admit this on live television. But see, I understand Snuffed Out because I too am an attention whore. The more attention I get, the better I feel. So if I can make a fellow group of attention whores feel better about themselves, goddamn right I'm going to. I will absolutely do that. Oh, Cryo's here. Talk shit. Let's see what
Oh.
Cryo has to say.
Hey, Cryo.
So, anyways, we're on the topic of the Tranquility Trading Tower.
I want to hear about this
happens
Titan
is
fight
like
in low sec
0%,
right
right?
now.
Yeah. How did exactly did
Rich,
this
how
all
far are
start,
you out?
though?
7 jumps.
Oh no.
Redline, exactly how did this all start? Was it just Snuff announced war on them, and then every alliance just started noticing, or how did it come about?
Yeah, so I mean, they killed the low sec Keepstar last week, and for the most part, nobody really cared. And I think they were kind of upset because they wanted attention, and obviously they got a little, but nowhere near as much as they got for Baskrin or some of the other ones where they got lots of tears and lots of, why won't everybody let's team up and fight Snuff and then suicide into their supers kind of thing. So I think they felt let down, and this is their attempt to get more attention. And we'll see how it goes.
Some
This is
people
really
in the
good
small gang,
shitposting.
some people in the small gang community, some people I know, they're like, oh yeah, let's jump on the TTT. They're asking about how they can get in on this war deck, how they can help Snuff.
So
destroy
far,
it.
122
What would you like to?
Corp is the entirety of people with the balls to declare war on the Tranquility Trading Tower.
What would you like to say about anybody who attempts to destroy your tower?
Good luck.
Probably.
Dude, the last time I was in a
good luck
high
and get
sec
fucked.
fight, the last time I was in a high sec fight, it was like literal cancer. It's really
It's not gotten
bad.
better. And I
It's
can
really
assure
bad.
you, I've prepped some super fun shit for whoever comes against the TTT. Like,
Yeah,
if you think fucking 40 Windrunner tornadoes is bad, wait till you see 250 Windrunner tornadoes. Like some of the shit I've got like prepped, like it is just fucking the most like ridiculous cancer imaginable.
I understand due to the mechanics of high sec. I understand due to the mechanics of high sec and destroying a Keepstar, it will take multiple 8 to 10 hour bashes, if not longer.
Possibly. You Delve Keepstars, didn't you? Like it's gonna be that again.
I am afraid I never
Except much
participated in
worse.
the destruction.
I can't wait for the G to know to get tie-dyed from the mass amount that Snuffed is feeding.
It's going to be worse than anything.
If at any point we want to just like crash server, it's like, all right, throw 10 smart bombing battleships into the core of somebody and activate smart bombs. Server will end. Like it's not like we don't even have to try.
It's
like
sketchy. Crime Watch is the biggest problem there, right? Like
exactly.
it'll make FWST look like a fucking walk in the park.
Yeah, I can like at any point we can literally shut the server off for like 15 minutes. Not to say like that's our strategy, because it's not, but it's just like it's just a reality of the fight, right? Like if you want to fight in high sec, one guy activating smart bombs in the middle of a blob, 200 fucking Crime Watch calculations, like Concord spawning.
Look, as Villy's space lawyer, for this comment only, this is a parody and is not actionable.
No, I don't know if we looked at
Space
it next week,
lawyer.
for sure.
Is
I
this Phoenix
smart
right?
bombed the Mar coronation event, and it was lots of people in system. Two of us smart bombed that. It didn't shut the server down.
Because there wasn't a
Well,
fight
if you've
going on.
got if you've got a
Like
bunch
I
of
don't know if
people-
that's really comparable. Like now do that with the grid where there's 500 people in Hacs is shooting another 500 people in
They weren't shooting,
random
but there was
shit.
way more than 500 people sitting on that grid.
Yeah, but they all have drones
They
out,
weren't-
all
they
shooting
weren't
each other.
shooting-
All
you know, they weren't shooting a drink. They're just sitting there. So you are right.
yeah. There's
But if you're just sitting there, there's no server calls happening. That's
Yeah,
the big thing
exactly.
there. Every action you do in HiSec triggers a crime watch calculation.
So what you're
and that's
saying?
not even including drones or anything.
Way to go from +1 to -10.
Are we Rich,
Want
how
to
far are
sell
you out, by
tag?
the way?
One jump.
Because it looks like Snuffed Out has actually been completely shoved in.
They've been routed?
So if you look at the battle report, it's very good anecdotal evidence of why the Revelation needed to be nerfed, or maybe still needs to be nerfed. You have all the other dreads wiped out. Both sides, the Revelations survived. I mean, not all of them, but they're the only ones.
I'm seeing
looking
very
at a
few
lot of
revelations.
dead revelations.
Very few revelations here on Snuffed Out.
Oh, this rev nerf is pointless. Like, it's a 2% power grid fucking implant you need
It
to
actually
keep
makes a
on
huge
trucking.
difference.
It changes.
For SR dreads, I think like all I need to do is chuck in a PG implant.
Well, for maybe your guys' fit, it's the triple plate fit that was like fundamentally broken.
Yeah, I've got triple plate.
It affected the Haw fit too, right? Quite a bit.
Okay.
Did it not?
I have no idea what your fit is, though. I will
Quick,
admit that.
someone pull up Pyfa. Let's find out who's right on this
Welcome to
episode of
Pyfa and Stations.
Something tells me that a 2% power grid implant does not equal the 70,000 grid lost.
I don't
Maybe
think
if
so.
somebody had better skills.
Well, it's also you also have the reduction of the amount of power it takes for the guns, which equates to what an actual
On the
like,
XL
only a-
guns, yes.
Yeah, so
XL beam
XL.
guns.
Only
Gotcha.
long range guns.
So not like Haw guns.
Right, because the beams are actually the beams are one of the weakest long range guns.
Yeah, and that's. Can an avatar actually fit T2 guns now?
On paper, I don't. It depends on the fit. It's closer.
Concord LP sellers and Shambolis.
Shambles?
Yeah.
I can't wait. Oh man, I can't wait to like have people in Logi ships like get Concorded opened. If there's a high sec fight because they rep someone who shot someone they shouldn't have.
Most people don't bring Logi.
On another fun note, GOP Keepstar reinforced.
Jeez.
They play
What
the
number
game?
Keepstar is that now?
Just 3, maybe.
3? Yeah, it's the third Keepstar this war. No other
at
Keepstar
least
this
3.
war.
The GOP Keepstar should be noted that it is not under a Sob 3 jammer and is approximately 3 mids from M2. So we'll see how the defense of that goes over the next day or two.
Does it come out?
I mean, M2 only
25th at
has like
2100.
12 days left on it,
Oh.
anyways.
Wait, what day? 2100?
March 8th.
25th.
Okay.
Check
Yeah.
Cesspool real quick for that.
So here's a fun question. Since I know that we've got some chat, what do you still think happens when the system when M2 goes to Sob 3 and a jammer goes down? Does everything just stop and everybody leaves, or is it like suddenly now Goons proper staging?
Yeah, we're just going to fully commit and stage out of M2 Redline.
They said they're going to
100%.
shut down the Imperial Palace, and move it to M2.
I'm moving everything into M2 right now. Like, I've just undocked 10 jump freighters. It might look like I'm evacuating, but I'm going to M2.
That sounds like a solid
More
plan.
of the question is, what's going to happen to M2 itself? Is it just going to fall into the hands of Test? Is it going to fall into...
Well, it's already in the hands of Test. It's our capital system.
Why is it... Oh, good
I
Lord,
spent
Test.
2 hours ADMing there yesterday. That was great fun. Never doing that shit again. Fuck
Haha, made you ADM fleet.
You act as if you guys haven't done like 5,000 ADM
I used to do
without
ADM.
prompting.
We have.
Look, I'm allowed to make a joke, Philly.
I know,
Make
I
us do
know.
it. We made you do it.
Is
That's
a joke me?
Yeah, I guess you made us do it. Made us form. Made us ADM.
Someone in chat was actually in my ADM fleet. Was he the lucky winner of the ESS payout? We got a 274 mil tick into the ESS.
Rich, Rich, what's the status?
I can't fucking find it. I can't fucking find it. I don't know how to look for fucking fight grids.
Never send a low secker to do like
Look for
Use your
cameraman's job.
Cynoshural field generator.
Oh.
40 AU off of Planet 7 Belt 1.
Yeah. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's probably like a site or something like that.
Is that like an
Get some pros
incursion
in.
system or something?
Oh, there might be, because I did see that there was a like there was something I saw about Frat getting dropped while they were running an incursion. Maybe
No,
there
that
is
was
something?
in Cobalt Edge, and it was VVV, not Frat.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, we
Wow.
dumpstered them last night.
Oh, Nosecny is using a fucking rattlesnake doctrine. My fucking heart goes out.
Yeah, I love rattlesnakes.
Gentlemen, stream is up. This is what's going on. Let me just close all of my top secret tabs.
Oh my.
Wait, is the fight actually still going on?
Stream
no,
it,
this is-
Redline. Stream the stream.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is kinda
Can we
cool.
all just relax for like
Alright.
30 seconds?
Redline.
A Super and Titan fight.
Oh my.
Never
Okay,
seen
but
one of
it's-
those before.
It's in low
Now
sec
stop
and
saying a
there's
Super
no
and Titan fight
tie-dye.
unless both sides have actually committed Supers and Titans.
Rich,
true.
do you
That's
think you
true.
can get a closer look on those Titans?
Call
How many of them have
Are they
skins?
shooting a fort? Are they?
Bro, they have skins. Look
They
at
are.
that.
They're shooting
battle
a
has
fort.
begun
Rich, turn
between the
off your
Force and
tactical
Titans.
review. That adds no value to this.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see the stream yet. I'm still working on pulling it up. Give me a second. I'm a boomer. It's
What's
taking a minute for me to pop this
Don,
up.
there's a fight.
Link the stream in local for them.
It's in low sec.
It's not much of a fight anymore.
I
Really,
saw
but
Titans, so I figured it's somewhere.
I don't see anyone really
I'm
fighting.
going to describe it the best I can for the moment for you guys. It's
Please don't.
essentially just Titans shooting a structure. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is. There's no. So whose Titans are they? Put your overview back up there.
Those are mostly Frat and NSH Titans, I think.
And whose Fortizar is it?
Snuffed out.
It is a. If I'm looking, it's a Rote Capelli fort. If I'm looking
Yeah,
at the
there's
Zeke
Rote
right.
Capel Dreads on the battle report, so if I had to take a wild guess, this started as Rote bat phoning snuff over a fight against an Nosecnia,
Okay.
and then
Who
Frat
are
being the
also
hammer.
Right. So NSH and Frat, leave that overview up there, motherfucker. Don't try to move it around.
Can you put it to the right?
He's a toxic little kid, isn't he?
Wait, why isn't Rich talking?
I don't know.
I'm right here.
Too hard.
I'm
Okay.
focusing. I'm in the zone.
See, isn't this harder than it looks? Here's what fucking
No,
look.
not.
Look, you. Wow.
What? We did it for 14
Right under the
hours one
bus,
day. All
man.
right, there you
Right
go.
under the bus.
There's what you're seeing. We're freaking out about Titans shooting a structure. This is our freak out moment, guys. And these are the guys that are coming for the Tranquility Trading Tower, by the way. Not the Titans.
So
the
how
guys
do you
that
fit
are
this, Rich?
tethered up
The
on
Rex
Fortizar.
below the Titans.
And the Rex down below.
The people that were meant to be coming for the Tranquility Trading Tower, they're somewhere in these wrecks. They don't exist anymore. They've been shattered, they've been routed, and these are people who will, in the event of a Tranquility Trading Tower attempt, they will either assist in protecting it, or they won't do anything to hurt it at all.
Do enough people in Snuffed Out even own subcapitals to go into Perimeter?
They have legions.
How
Legions
many
and some Macarials and whatever.
how many tags do you think they've had to buy to be able to get into high seg?
Why? Like the fact that you guys actually think this troll is like some legit thing is like, oof.
I
Who
feel like
thinks
we
that this troll is a legit thing, Billy? Do you think we're all morons?
Wait,
plenty
it's
of
not
idiots
real?
are
You guys all keep
convinced.
talking about it like it's serious.
It's
so
funny
Wait, it's
to
not
talk
serious?
about.
But it could
I thought
happen.
Snuff was fighting the
Could happen.
TTT.
No, they're just memeing.
So it's a
Aw.
funny thing to think about. I think we all would like to see it happen, but it's not going to happen.
I
Fuck
feel
it.
like
Stand
if they were going to fight TTT, we'd be able to tell by the Jita transaction for the amount of fucking like tags that they bought.
Snuff
Like,
went
they'd
into
have-
high sec for like some major operation against somebody. They lost half their fleet to fucking like faction police because they're all like negative standing with the like Concord people, not Concord, but like Galente faction or something.
Stand by for a 1 AUD scan. 1 AUD scan reads 28 Titans committed to this so far. 28 Titans.
So
I believe we
dumb.
call this a nano gang in the Titan community.
Nano gang Titan.
16 super
Small gang
carriers.
warfare for Titans.
Fuck you
Ugh.
for that one, Sandrin. Jesus
That was
Christ.
so good, dude.
FC, can I bring my 2,000 meters a second Ragnarok?
Please don't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
bring
So
fucking test it
why?
out.
Why not?
Cryo,
Maybe this is a
why?
dumb question. Why is Frat in this space? Because I know they live in the north and they've been
Frat's
fighting,
moving. It's
doing,
a
but they're moving through Lowsec conveniently to shoot a Fortizar.
They
Or
probably
was
No,
got
if I
stuff
had
up
to,
in the
It
area.
was on the
Rain,
a
other
rope
hill.
Shit was talked, and they showed up.
It
This
was on
is our
it's
blood.
important.
for the while.
It's important to understand what's going on in the north right now. So right now, Fraternity, with the help of allies, primarily Nullsecnia and their Winter Coalition, English U.S. time zone based forces, has been purging through the north uh, from the east. So they've been moving through Vale, and now they're moving into Tribute. They've installed Keepstars in both M-Taco and Otsasai in the Forge Lowsec. This gives them projection that is near the space in Oyaden. Road Capella has been one of the groups that has been defending against Frat's incursion and invasion. What you see here is a situation where almost certainly Nullsecnia, an arm of Winterco or Fraternity's expansion, attacked Road Capel. Road Capel bat phoned Snuff, and then Nullsecnia bat phoned Fraternity, who were within probably one midpoint away. So they were probably based in either MO or Otsai. They took one Sino and then they were in range, and then they came in as the hammer in this fight as the Dreads began to die. If you look at the battle report timeline, it's very obvious that the Dreads were trading equally or in Snuff's favor until the Super Capital Hammer came in. Once
So
the hammer came in, it's very obvious how the fight goes.
why didn't Snuff escalate further? Because I know Snuff has plenty of Titans and Supers as well. Do they just not think that they
This
can win
is
this?
well outside Snuff's controlling time zone. Snuff has almost no strength in US time zone. Even to field this amount of numbers indicates that they probably had an alarm clock or a operation that was well pre-planned, which makes me lead to think like a hidden bat phone kind of situation. Snuff's US time zone is notoriously weak, and their EU time zone is notoriously their strength. So when I see a battle report like this, that's kind of how I see it, and it's why Snuff's showing is weaker than it is. And obviously Snuff doesn't have any friendly Keepstars in the area anymore that they could dock out of because Ignoitance did. But
Yikes.
Stand by. We are seeing Fraternity super capital assets on the move. The Fortizai is now dead. I believe the person commanding would be this mysterious person with the title N, so we all know who that is.
It's Kim Jong-un himself, dude. It clearly
Kim
says it
Jong-un
right
himself, North Korea #1. Yes, somebody from Fraternity Building Management. One can only speculate on their identity.
Are you trying to say it's Noros? Because you can
Use
just
your
say
spy
Noros.
network to find out, Rich. Use your spy network to find out.
it's also important to note that there's almost no relative subcap control for the Snuff/Road forces. They're fighting against a moderate-sized Rattlesnake fleet, a Fraternity Tempest fleet, and obviously they've got a ton of logistics, and they've also got some zealots in there. And dock workers brought a small to medium-sized zealot, and I don't know if these sacrileges are combined from Rote, but like the subcap field is just much stronger on the Fraternity Nullsecnia side. So obviously the situation where you want to take a supercap fight in Lowsec is entirely hick dependent, right? So you don't want to be in a situation where you're the subcap inferior force, because that means your forces can be tackled and your enemies can't, right? So it's extremely important to have the subcap control in Lowsec supercap fights.
All right, thank you for explaining.
As you can see, the kill mail is up. There it is. It is down, and we're seeing Nosekia, rattlesnakes on grid to loot and protect looting.
Triple raid.
Any day Snuff dies is a good day.
We got to see firsthand. We got to see a Fortizar die, everybody. Are we excited?
Well, you got
excited?
you got to see the people who, theoretically speaking, were meant to target the TTT, but on a more practical term, they've just been routed from Ornanen.
Ononen's a lot further away. Well, Ononen's pretty far away from perimeter, so I mean, they could still totally do it, right? I believe in you, Snuffed Out. You can do
This
it.
was actually just a move
Yeah,
up that
you know,
went wrong for Snuffed Out.
in order to go to hit perimeter, they'd have to get their ships all the way from Jeddah.
Oh,
Some rough logistics.
All the way.
Or Brave.
Oh, and
Right.
everybody say hello to Wally Mats. He is indeed in this fleet.
Hi, Wally.
And also Weissman. I'm going to go ahead and ping him in the Discord.
Oh, sorry.
only
I
care
already,
about Wally.
I already turned it off because nothing was happening.
Okay.
A
Well, the
special
stream's...
thanks. Special thanks to Rich Richmond, our reporter out on the field, live at the scene. We appreciate you.
Well done, Rich. And now back to Rain with the news.
Rain, how's the rain?
Actually, if you would like to hear actually about the weather down in Delft, there's a gamma electrical storm still affecting the regions of T5Z, but not 1DQ. So those in T5Z should not be able to cloak, even though if they can, they should not be able to. It's also now extending over to M2 TAC, so if I attempt to stream there, I definitely won't be able to, because you will be able to not be able to cloak. The electrical storm is in southern Delve as well, so obviously that's a huge nerf to logistics. So if there's anyone fighting in the southern region of Delve, to be very careful, as your logi will be 90 to 50% to 90% effective. Ineffective? Nerfed.
You see, though, I have it a few times before. I've seen people like the people stationed to fight us in UEXO are trying to use like self-rep fits and stuff like that to counteract it, and interested to see how it plays out. Not well so far, but interested to see how it plays out otherwise.
Well, have they considered something like a triple...
negative 150%.
Why don't they try something like a double or triple rep fit, and instead of having Logi, shield repping them or armor repping them, have them, just act as a battery pack. I mean, that's the only way you can really do it at that point.
Yeah, that's significant weather. I know Fountain still has the exotic. I believe Stain also has a storm. There are two up in Branch / Tenal Venal around that space. But yeah, mostly the storm really having the biggest effect would be the one in Delve. Or the two in Delve, I should say.
I'd like to forward a motion to the goons in chat and on comms with us right now to never have another super cap fight in an electrical storm. I lost 3 sinos and only one of them was actually lit at any point. Because you can't...
I can accept those terms.
Mind-numbing shit.
No.
Not a fan of the storms.
It is not fun.
They're great when they're in somebody else's space.
Honestly, like I actually kind of really like the cloak storm. I think it's
No, I do too. I don't like it in my system.
I think that I think the cloak storm gives a ton of interesting changes to the way you play around it, right? Like gate camps are all of a sudden super different.
I did a lot of shit talking about the storms at first. I thought they were stupid, but they've turned out to be kind of a cool dynamic for the game.
Not when they affect you.
Not when they affect me, but when they affect other people. Yes, exactly.
I like the no cloak storm because it's the only counter to cloaky campers in the game.
Would you rather have
Cloaky
it?
camping doesn't need a counter.
Would you rather have those storms like way more transient though, like where they show up like within a 45-minute window or a 30-minute window, and then they go away with reduced time frames, unknown like random times, or there.
Yeah, then they'll get accused of they'll get accused. They'll show up at a big fleet fight, right? Then CCP will be accused of doing it on purpose. Even if it was
honestly, the only change I would recommend to the cloak storm I would decrease the size of them. I would compress them by 1 jump, so that they don't like linger in side systems as much as they have a tendency to do right now. Some of the other storms I think need buffs to their positives. So like some of the storms give like exploration buffs, and some of them give like mining buffs and all kinds of random stuff. And it's like none of those buffs are even remotely close enough to make the storm something that people are going to chase after or do that way. So
other than be a nuisance, basically, right? I mean, if you're not going to chase after it, it's just a nuisance.
I thought it'd be interesting if there was a way. I don't know if it'd be like a structure or something that you, I don't know, use a filament for or something like that. But if there was a way to bring a storm into a system, so like if you knew there was going to be a big fight or something,
you rain dance.
Oh, you go rain dance or seed the system with the like silver nitrate.
Meteorological 1, meteorological 2.
That would be completely broken.
New skins.
Or you could do
not
the
new skins,
opposite,
new
right?
skill, yeah.
Like,
It
you
would
have
be
a
completely broken.
Cloud salting skill
All
1.
you need
Oh.
is
Just a
Advanced cloud
giant
salting.
fan.
weather dominator. You're good to go.
That actually would be pretty cool. Like, say, I don't know, if you were sided with like Triggs, and then you said, "I want a storm in the system," and then they were just like, "All right, there you go."
Fucking
My
creepy,
question is,
like asking the Chinese for help mechanic, where you could get like a Chinese invasion if you sell enough of your kids to the Chinese.
that's how fraternity joined Pappy.
Yes, for the
Welcome to
fraternity
capitalism, baby.
invasion, it's just someone sold their wife to Neuro.
It'd be neat if there was a way to balance it, or make it so like you could do a rain dance to summon, or something to get them away. So that way,
Maybe it like pulls the storms to you. You can't summon it, but like it makes the storms more likely to come to you.
too. But
My
the storms
question-
move forever. Like the one in Fountain has been there for like 3 months. So it's one of those things where it's like they just move so slow. Like the one in Stain spent the first 4 or 5 months in Providence, like that firestorm down in Stain. They just like take forever to move. But I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. I also kind of want to see CCP iterate on them to add new effects, whether it be like Billy was saying, the buffs, or different sort of, I don't know if you call them like nerfs or sort of niches or whatever. Like one, like the no cloaky camping one, maybe they have one that removes local or something like that. So then that way, you could kind of see these effects and see the outcome of the effects more instantaneously, rather than just, okay, we've had them for 6 months, what's the verdict on them?
Removes local? I like that idea.
I like that too. It could definitely add something to the game.
But CCP iterating is a far cry from reality.
I'm sorry. They literally iterated in the last week, sir.
They've done it one time, guys.
But they
Good
did it.
job.
They did it.
But
might be learning.
I
I'll
think
give
if
them
you-
the benefit of the doubt.
I think if they made the side effects or like the negative effects too strong, you just end up with people avoiding them rather than like any engagement there at all. Like
Yeah, that'd be
as
very
is,
true.
it's already a toss up for like, do I even want to bother
But-
fighting in a system with a gamma storm?
We did see though when the winter storms were out there, like people were going out and doing that shit a lot because it had stuff that they could actually get from it. So if they did introduce some more effects, like long-lasting effects that would actually stick around and weren't just like a couple weeks long, that could be pretty interesting.
The winter storms helped me win fights in small gang stuff. I was able to overheat like nothing because it was so easy to do so in those storms.
There you go.
You can just go for so much longer, and it was rad when they were around. I was really sad when they were gone because I couldn't just sit there with literally everything turned on, overheated, and just explode someone for as long.
I think a storm that would be really fun is if CCP just made like the meme storm, and every week they just took like they did like a poll on social media to say, hey guys, what effects do you want? So every time somebody has like some really like outrageous stupid idea, CCP's like, you know what, yeah, we're gonna implement that. Here's a storm that gives you that buff, go out and try it, and then players can realize firsthand that they know nothing at developing games.
We always
I
spawn
mean,
appeals.
let's think about this. Apologies. Go ahead, Dom.
Oh, he said as long as it happens in PL space.
Yeah. Dude, we're in T5Z right next to you.
Oh, okay.
MySpace though.
Yeah, he lives in ESO.
MySpace.
All I'm saying is that
Does actually that's an interesting question. Does Bastion live in that pocket where you guys have Sov in Helm's Deep?
Crickets.
No, I mean it'd be foolish to.
But you guys have like structures and stuff there, right?
Shit there.
You do have a lot of shit there?
There's a Keep Star and several other structures, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oh shit.
Thanks for telling us.
We'll
be there.
How did you
Yeah.
hit it? Like you didn't know about it. Well, you hit him.
Are you still finding keep stars like hidden in constellations or something, man?
No, it's just more so like I was just,
I can give you a list of where they all are.
He's trying to be ominous.
Yeah,
Don't
it
worry,
was-
we already have the list.
Yeah.
You can't be
better,
ominous.
better than you guys apparently
It's bad
with your
we
60
have
keep
trouble with
stars.
shit. Come after us. We get it.
Bro, I'm at the point where I'm losing dreads between characters, okay? Like, don't expect me to keep track of that many keep stars.
But we have a Keep Star and Esoteria key reinforced.
You got one
Oh,
reinforced,
no,
or there is one
reinforced.
reinforced?
There is reinforced.
Oh no, they reinforced the structure again.
Wait, which one's reinforced right now?
Maybe it came out. Is it
Otaco or whatever it was.
is that what it is? Otaco?
I think it was Otaco. Yeah.
We saved that last night, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know where it came out or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yeah, I mean,
Did you just
OTAC
blow a
O is
raspberry into your microphone?
Okay, so I gotta introduce something. My new favorite beer is called Jesus on a Forklift. And it's a 12% IPA, an IPA, Imperial Stout. And I've drank a lot of them.
I don't
Is that
think.
Iowa?
Yeah, it's made by XL. People do Ruthie.
I was just pretty sure that you single-handedly changed the show from Trash Talk Tuesday to Toddler Talk Tuesday by blowing a raspberry in your microphone.
No Talk Tuesday. Pretty
Well, sometimes it's the best fucking argument.
But
pretty
next
quiet
week,
week though, eh, guys?
Yeah, kind of.
It's been a fun.
Because the ops tempo really slowed down though, like this week especially. I think that's
Me
pretty
and
intentional.
Rain were talking
Very
earlier.
Esoteria. It's been back and forth and a good time. I think about both sides.
Me and Rain were talking earlier about how it's been the news is kind of stalled because I'm doing a redesign on the New Eden Post website just to make it more media friendly, and it's there's not even much to post about anymore. It's all
Yeah, you're correct. And I think Rain made the comment or saying something about if it's not. Well, somebody lost 100 billion a fleet or a fight, and she made the comment about if it's not a trillion, it's not really worth talking about. So that has changed the dynamic of what people think is worthy to talk about. Lots of little shit going on, but no, you don't get an M2 every week. You don't get that every week. So it does feel like it's slower, even though there's a lot of shit going on.
well,
Yeah, I mean, anytime I see it, like a Titan or a Super Titan, I'm like, yeah, but does it really matter? Before the war, that was like the top of Ezekiel. Now there's just one every 2 days.
And that's especially true after M2, where you see losses on the scale of trillions, and then it's just you see that battle report, that fight that just happened between Snuffed and Frat, it's 260 billion isk. That's nothing. But
Half ago, that would be
exactly.
absolutely, yeah.
I don't know, man. Shit's gone
That's like
crazy
what?
over here.
One Satio?
Yes,
Right, yeah, one Satio.
Satio's usually only 70 or 80 bill, right? But I don't think
Not
there's
one.
a ton more Tech 2 ones. I know 1DQ's got a Tech 2 one. I think there's. Is there another Tech 2 Sotio in Delve? I'm not tracking one. There might be.
Yes.
Oh, there is? Okay. Do you know where, by any chance? Specific system?
I forgot the system, but I know it's there.
What rough area are we talking about?
Convenient.
Delve.
Oh, Delve.
It's roughly in Delve.
Colvin, figure it out and get with Philly after the show.
What was the biggest topic last week, just out of curiosity?
There was.
I was really mean to Don.
I think fleet formations was big last week.
You were really mean to Dawn. Wasn't nice.
That's really was mean.
Don, I don't know if you can hear me, but this is a public apology from me to you for
We
last
can talk
week.
about Siberian Squad losing their staging in Quirius, or one of their stagings.
Oh yeah, that's something I wanted
Siberian
to talk
Squad.
about was how Quirius is going.
They pretty much taking it over now.
Brave,
Siberian Squads? Yeah, Brave has.
I thought Siberian Squad's kicking ass down there. That's what I heard.
Well,
Siberian Squads has lost every single fight they've been in, except for 2, I think.
Well, the ones
How many bad phones in the one that they won?
I mean, when you're
Well,
talking every single fight they've lost, like the battle reports I've seen test guys crowing about on Reddit are like $1 billion isk worth. So, and someone took a monitor. Yeah, Jeremy.
You've literally got Jeremy in the room who won at least multiple 10 bill battle reports, one of which where he literally walked away with Hanzo's 3 bill monitor.
I've lost.
To that cliffhanger.
I have lost one fight because I took two. I got too cocky. I took too few hacks, and then Siberian Squad dropped fact support, and everyone's bell got rung, and they got crushed in every other fight subsequently.
So you say he ejected from his ship, and you got?
Yeah, yeah. It's on Reddit. Hanzo, because we had it tackled, right?
He ejected from his monitor to save his snake pod.
Yeah. So I was literally having the meaningfully anchor on him because
Jeremy, you talking shit again? Do I need to find more battle reports to shove in your face?
Listen,
apparently, yes, we are currently talking about the lack of good battle reports from.
Redline wants to see something.
I can tell you that I have lost.
I already said it.
3 fights, one of which was sub 1 bill in the last fleets in this.
I did link a nice one from Period Basis last night.
From period basis. Let me guess. A jump freighter took a gate?
No, it was a rock wall and a nag. Got dumpstered.
People, I don't know how many times I tell people that to not take the TK. We all tell it. Like Billy tells it, I say it, Sandra says it.
The thing is, those aren't really battle reports. Those are like random ganks. Like, if you want us to rank random ganks, I can show you like supers and carriers jumping to the AGI beacon. Like,
Oh yeah, that's always funny
To
though.
be fair,
never fought a.
Joining fleets.
No, the only thing that was notable about the period basis roll call death was like the CEO of the corp jumped a nag in at the last minute for some reason, and the FC got headshot 5 times on the Pappy side.
If you
My
do
favorite-
take a gate, die quietly.
My favorite drop y'all did was the one you dropped on the roar hole and the carriers, and like 10 of the 13 carriers died.
That was hilarious.
Oh, we didn't drop. We warped. Get it right.
And then you didn't warp off.
So
Yeah,
are
unfortunately.
are you guys still counting like the entire like every region in the game on the campaign battle report? Have you
Not my
narrowed
battle
that
report.
back down?
where half of their kills are like low or high sec jump freighters that have nothing to do with this.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
red frog is apparently part of Pappy.
As our Imperium allies who have their jump freighters.
That
Not
shit's
my battle
wild
report.
to me.
Actually, I do want to.
Oh,
I mean,
that.
there are jump freighters we do include because we see them dock in Pappy keep stars and then undock and then get exploded when they hit a high sec.
Yeah, but they can
Yeah.
also dock in your keep stars as the thing. They are literally neutral logistics groups.
No,
that-
they're trying to make the claim that the majority of jump freighters that kill are ults of Pappy corporations.
Well, that's the
Oh,
thing
I
with it,
see.
right? Like it's easily deniable by either side when that happens.
Well, no, but the thing is, like, to a very small degree, it's not, right? Like, it's very easy to just pull the standings list for most, corporations or alliances at like the logistics level and be like, yeah, that's all their jump freighters, and then use that as a point. The thing is, the vast majority of like the time I see these jump freighters linked, it's just random neutrals. Like, oh, they had 5 billion in their cargo. Let's suicide gank them. So you suicide gank them, and you're like, that was a Pappy kill, and everybody's just like, what?
You've got more
Like,
than 500 million.
don't get me wrong, you guys have nailed a couple like alt corps, like, but like the number of like certifiable Pappy jump freighter kills is like 10 of like 90. Like it's
It's been confirmed.
Hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, man.
yeah, I know.
My favorite kill this week was Bongalonga losing his
Oh, we didn't talk
Satio
about that.
What happened?
Who?
Bongalonga warped to 0 on a Satio in catch in his super, got bubbled once and then died to the Satio.
High tier initiative FC, Bongalonga.
Wait a minute. Is this? Did he lose it to warped?
Yep.
Yeah.
How do you lose it to warped?
You drop your
What
fucking you drop your fucking hell at 0 on the fucking Sotio that you're bashing that has a gunner in it that has 1 dictor with no plan to clear the dictor.
Was it a kill timer?
No,
No,
it
it
was
was
a
an
shield
initial
resource.
Why would you drop it then?
They needed more DPS because they only had like 15 munions or something.
I
Oh,
put
do you
the kill
lose?
in
Oh
chat.
my
They
god!
didn't have any Astras or 40s just surrounding it?
You too can join the elite ranks of
No, no. How do you lose it to? How do you lose it to warped? I haven't even lost anything big to warped.
It's not about who it was, it's just the situation he put it in, right? Like, he jumped down to a
Perfect
Sotio at 0, got bubbled, and then the Sotio just it's a fucking hyper hell, so the Sotio does like, what, 20, 30,000 DPS, and it just like starts obliterating him. He's in a
Isn't
bubble, and he can't get
warped
out.
Evacing right
I'm
now,
not
or
gonna
meant
be-
to be.
I'm not gonna lie though, I've almost lost my carrier to a Satio before because I was on the talk show and I warped the wrong character.
Like,
The fleet. I was like, no.
Imagine being on a talk show. Jeez.
imagine setting up the proper ping out for your carriers ahead of time.
Imagine
Before you
owning
shoot a
an
building.
alliance.
Jeremy's just spot brained, okay? Leave him alone.
I literally am like, okay, how far does this thing shoot? 350? 400 kilometer ping.
I literally just warped the wrong character. And I was ready to
Oh, the
jump out.
great
Luckily,
Jeremy made a mistake? Shocker.
Luckily, I was at jump cap and I was like, if this thing starts locking me, I'm out of here.
Oh, and you're talking a lot of shit for an equally mediocre FC.
Oh,
She started
no, I'm
FC, she
worried.
has to beg people to like lead fleets because the Imperium's so burnt out from FC, she can't find anyone to get content with.
No.
You can't,
Nah,
you-
don't.
No.
every
No.
show, every show, Sandrin, please come FC some fleets for me, please.
It would be funny if one of you guys said yes at one point.
I'd
I don't know
see
how
if
that
it
would work
wasn't
out.
me shooting blues. Like, I'm
Village
happy
offered
to
a wife
FC
They
swap
don't
before.
have to be blue. There's a really easy way to make them not be blue.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
but then
mind
you'd have
shooting
to.
blues.
But I would rather do a lot of terrible things than have Condi in my name on EVE Online.
Again.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
say that.
let's do that. Let's bring that back up. Because those are repressed memories, Jeremy.
I think you had a good time. Thank
I
you.
did have a good time. I had a great time. Y'all were great. Lab members are awesome. Leadership's dog shit. It is what it is.
But after the war, I will gladly FC for whatever remnants there are of your group, Dawn.
Remnant.
When you join
Dawn,
Diva.
you can even join Diva.
When you join Diva, you can join one of my fleets and I'll FC. You can
Hey,
see
me and
what it looks
Riker.
like from the other side.
Don, you get Riker. Riker will FC your fleet. I'll fight against your fleet. Let's see who wins.
Okay.
My
You
money's
can
on
bribe him with
Riker.
K-pop.
I thought
I have a
Riker was
question.
with
Can I
Concordia.
FC
Hold on.
anything I'm good at?
Yeah.
What are you good at?
Sure.
I'm good
Super
at
Cat.
rifles.
My alliance.
You know what?
You have a mining
There's
fleet.
there's literally no other use in this entire game for Rorqual except to die right now. So go for it.
Of course, there's a
Oh,
use
shit,
for a
Right?
Rorqual.
Do you
Use
not
it as
like?
heavy tackle. You can use it
Like,
as
do you know how
records.
You can use it for
scary
link.
a
Can you fit
Rorqual
a
is?
jump drive on a devoter? If not, you
Rorquals
need a
are
Rorqual.
scary.
That's very true. But there's all situations where they'll just die in usually. So
I feel
You
bad
said
for
it was one fleet versus one fleet.
I feel bad for me too because I bought my Rorqual 2 just for the ore changes because I wanted to finally actually make money in EVE Online. And then CCP for the past year and a half has told me that there's no way to make money in EVE Online.
Can we
I
just
bet if you and Don 1v1, I bet she'd kick your ass.
I don't-
talk about? Oh, actually, yeah, Don probably would. But
I
she'd be an
mean-
adventure, so that would be embarrassing.
I mean, I don't 1v1. I take fleets out. It's two different skill sets.
I
so
bet if you
probably.
guys do fleet versus fleet, she'd win too.
You'll find that the skill sets are pretty, like, I don't know, one transfers into the other. General knowledge.
General knowledge, I'm
mechanics
saying,
and
but like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, which happens a lot. So
I mean, no, it's
really
Yeah, we
different.
know.
It is different. It is different. It's not like solo piloting is the same as like fucking taking out a fleet.
Yeah.
But those two skills do
they're
transfer
the
very,
knowledge.
very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but even like, if you're really good
Transversal.
at manual piloting, yeah, exactly. Then like you're gonna be really good at keeping like your mutant fleet alive or whatever.
Yeah, I remember I was trying to orbit have something like manually orbit materials one time. I was like, I got no clue how to do this.
I kept trying to be like, Jeremy, closer, further. Like,
Okay, guys, Quake. Okay, guys, now depleted uranium. Okay, now
Well,
go to Trevor. Okay, now Quake, guys, Quake.
We were firing depleted uranium at like 20 kilometers in our, and we could only lock out to 13 because of the
Listen,
jams.
Oh,
That what you just described is exactly the reason why I fly Logi. I don't want to have to think about different ammo types. I don't do guns, so like every time I lead a fleet and there's guns, I have to ask my fleet members, "What's your range?" And they'll be like, "Well, with what?" And they try to ask me like these existential questions. I'm like, no, literally, give me some numbers to work with here. What's your shortest? What's your longest?
Yo,
Just
Don, what
set
if
up a
you had
simulation.
charges for your reps and you had to
Oh,
load?
I would know everything.
You had to
If
load
only
like
you
the
had
damage
a-
type you wanted to rep through or whatever.
I would know every single one of them like the
Yeah.
back of my hand if that
Don,
was
if
the
only
case.
you had a data mining logger tool, right? You could do.
Yeah.
Like, you would totally be able to totally own the game.
Dawn, can you teach me how to do Logi?
Wow, they might know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, Don, we do some TTT Logi classes.
Please.
What? No.
TTT Logi
I
class.
want to
you
learn
know?
Logi.
Logi's not that hard, dude. Just press F1.
Just
Yeah.
anchor up.
Literally,
Sometimes
the easiest
F2.
thing is if someone broadcasts your rep. Now, if you want to actually be good at Logi, that requires some practice.
So
Also,
to
no
do
doubt
Logi,
applies
To
scimitar.
be Logi is not hard.
to do Logi, you just need to think of it like you're shooting blues, but instead of shooting bullets, you're shooting healing bullets. Just
Don,
do
will you
that,
teach
you're
me how to
fine.
fly a scimitar?
No, I'll give you nothing, Jeremy.
Oh,
You're
I thought we were friends.
Satisfying asshole.
Anchor
You
up,
get
watch for
nothing.
broadcasts, press F1, F2, and F3.
You're right.
F4.
I am self-satisfied. I don't need anyone. I'm a strong, independent woman.
Jeremy, how much is the ship?
Is what ship?
The Scimitar.
It's like 300 mil.
I may buy it for you.
I have a scimitar. I don't know how to use it.
Literally, you
Train
rep
to
people.
kill.
Like, this is not that complicated.
Well, it's not cap stable, so I
Billy,
can't do the basilisk
quick
monkey thing.
question.
It just
Then
hit all of my
turn
buttons.
off, leave one rep off, and never use it.
Red line.
Okay.
Answer.
How easy is it to become a skirmish FC in Test Alliance? Please ignore.
It's not.
Really?
How did Jeremy get
What are the
there?
requirements?
Hard work, responsibility,
Hard.
technical skill.
And then I come along, and it's
You
going
have
wrong.
to know how scimitars work.
I know how
got
they
it without
work.
ever FCing for
My-
test, so
I
Alright,
know how
Jeremy.
they work.
Jeremy,
I
quick
just can't
question. What's
follow
the
up.
proper scimitar to Munin ratio in your standard MWD Munin?
I
This
go
is
for
really-
70% munins and 10 to 15% semis at least. Try to 20% at least.
If you can get 20% Logi, you're. Mwah.
Yeah, 20% is
20%
really when you
is
want to
what you
be it.
want. 20%
Yeah,
is
20.
what
But I usually have to sell for like 10 to 15%.
you need to spam your fleet more.
Though
I'm too
And-
soft. That's my problem.
And that's when you start to lose fleet fights, is when you settle.
Yeah.
There's
Remember?
medicine
We
for
just
that.
talked about this.
I gotta
Yeah,
say
right.
though,
Yeah,
if you are
straight line.
Severance,
Oh, dude, I
it's
disconnected. That was
50-50.
server issues. You all should have fucking reported that and been reimbursed, just like the input. Rathbon.
Leave
research it.
Rathbone alone.
Ratborn, you mean?
Why are you calling him Ratborn? That's not his name.
It's Rathbon.
Because first I misspelled it, and then I was like, well, it's kind of funny to
It's
say call him
Ash Sword
Ratborn.
Dragon's PC fight, I think.
That's
so.
also very true. And isn't that
Currently,
fun?
I'm currently in a hull tanked blaster fucking Gnosis mirror matchup right now. What the fuck is happening?
What?
It's just the weirdest fight ever.
Playing.
It's about to end. I can't tell who's gonna win. We're both at like 10% structure.
You're gonna overheat Sandrin?
Yes!
That's how PvP sounds.
Someone get a clip of that,
Like
please.
the kill mill. I died seconds after because he brought friends, but I won the mirror matchup, baby.
Was it
Shit
Bill?
while you're pausing.
No, it's just some random Dracarys guy.
If
There's
it
a
wasn't Bill, then
screenshot of
it
the
doesn't
last
matter.
seconds of the fight.
Dracarys is the oddest man out here. They took over some weird space and catch.
Yeah, that's where I'm fighting them. Look at, I put it in cesspool. You can see how close it was.
Jeez.
That Loki's gonna get you though.
Yeah, the Loki scrammed me last second and killed me. But like, that was a weird fight.
So, speaking of weird fights, let's talk about. Have we talked about everything that we wanted to talk about?
You guys
Yeah,
talk
I think
about
we
the
did.
Marauders yet?
I just want to know why Rich Richmond got kicked from his last two corps.
Oh yeah, no, we want to hear about that.
Wait, he
didn't
got
get
kicked again?
No, we want to hear about what he did get kicked though.
He wrote an
He got-
article. I just haven't had
Oh,
a
we-
chance to publish.
He got kicked for RMT.
He didn't get
Knew
kicked
it.
from anywhere.
Got
Don't
kicked for
accuse.
botting, boys.
He got caught.
Yeah, he didn't get
He
kicked.
got caught
Guys,
spying. He didn't do a
don't-
good job spying. He got
Don't
caught in spying and he got
accuse
kicked out.
people of things that you have no idea of.
I
Is not
spent
appropriate.
I spent 3 hours talking to him last night. It was clearly obvious why he got kicked.
Hmm.
What was
He
it?
got-
Now
he
you're
got
just
caught
telling
spying.
lies.
Did he get caught smoking in the boys' room?
No, he got caught spying. He was bad
Smoking
at
in the
spying,
boys'
and then he's trying to
Why don't we just
recover, and he's trying to rebuild his spy career, but that's what happened.
Why don't we just ask him what happened?
Rich Richmond took down.
He gives the
Carter with
best
all of his-
non-answers to that question.
Rich
Rich.
Richmond, is it true or false that you are a spy?
Not in Eve.
Oh my god, he's
Not
James
in
Bond!
the
He's James Bond! No, MI6.
Rich Bond, he complains about the Soviets blobbing him every time he goes out on a mission.
It's like the CIA, but they eat finger food, like
It's
little
official,
little
Rich.
cucumber sandwiches and stuff.
Rich is
but-
CIA chat. We knew
Rich
it.
Richmond, is it true or false that you were begging for a test spy position last night?
No, but I did find talking to the test TIA director fascinating. And if there is a
Anton?
chance to talk to Anton, yes, and if there is a chance to talk to the spy who helped bring down GOTG and Darkness, I'd love to have a chat with them.
The spy
for-
that helped to bring
Anton
down
is a good man, I like
GOTG
that.
and Darkness.
I believe they're directly responsible for it. There is a threat currently on it. It's
What happened to Darkness? Pray tell, Rich Richmond, in your own words, in 15 minutes or less.
No, we don't
Darkness
need
run
that
in it.
because they got their ass whooped for like 2 years.
And then they
and
joined
then
in
they
it.
disbanded.
Half of them joined in it.
Pride and hubris.
What
the Pride
happened
Double
with
Hull.
Sword
Pride
Dragon?
and Prejudice. It's a different book.
Well, unfortunately, there's not much to be prejudiced in terms of Sword Dragon. It's hubris in this case. As for my departure from Fragons, it's a really boring reason, and I'll spoil. There will be more details in the article that Redline should be publishing sooner or later. It's been rewritten because I felt certain things were being misunderstood, but the real reason is, and it's boring as hell, it's a simple personality conflict.
So when you say Sword Dragon, you're talking about the greatest time zone tanker in the history of Eve, right?
Unfortunately, he. Let me just double check it right here. Sword Dragon. He appears not to have logged in or even done anything significant at Eve for a very long time, other than lose a high-grade amulet pod to Triglavians in January. So whether
so terrible?
I don't think he's able to. I don't think he time zone tank the Triglavians this time, and I'm not sure if he's in a position to play or not.
Rich, if you need a corp, tell me.
Watchmen,
I found a
Watchmen
nice
has
place.
not been changed, so.
I sent you an invite to Diva earlier, Rich. You should click accept on that.
Rich, join frat.
No, Rich would not be. Rich would not like it in.
Rich is blacklisted.
Yeah.
Ow.
Billy said that they can find a way for him to get into test if he wanted to. I'm sure
Subject
Billy
to change if I need to, but thank you for the invite.
Why would Rich be blacklisted from test? For what purpose?
Rich, he's a spy, apparently.
Because of all the years of. Oh yeah, right. The
Check
spy
his
thing.
corp history, that's why.
I'm
Because
sure
he
if
was a
Anton.
worm?
It's Antar, not Anton.
Sorry. I'm sure if Anton was checked by.
Antar!
Antar!
Anton, yeah, you're right. You're sure if Anton
not the dude from Dishonored.
It's Anthony. He's Anthony now.
Look,
Anthony
Richmond, do you need a
what?
vouch into GSF? Because I can
Logan.
get you one.
I
Oh my
believe
God,
somebody
it's
already
not-
vouched me into 4S, but I'll consider it at another time.
It's not fucking Richmond's recruitment hour.
It is,
Come on.
Rich. If you want to join a real group, let me know if you want Pandemic Legion. I'll vouch you.
I'll help you get vouched to Horde.
I'm sorry, according to
Okay, I guess it
unfortunately
is.
he isn't going to be here, but according to let me just check his name because I forgot.
You know,
Sega.
I bet
Multi-boxing
you keep
dreads
vouching
is hard work according to Sega. Like it requires a
Want to
lot
learn
of
it,
skill.
bro? You can join Habit.
Rich, just come join frat.
You know, I do like Norat. He's a good fella. I'll consider it.
Norat's a great fan. I love him.
Who's Norris?
Nextorian.
You don't know
sorry.
who Norris is?
No, he's
No.
talking
Next,
about
you're gonna
Norris
see
being
who Marie Taylor is too.
What'd you say, Sandrin?
Nextorian, not Norris. Sorry.
Speaking about Horde, I remember a fond memory I have of one day a goon coming in claiming that he was tackled in like his gear or something like that. He lit a Sino into a dread bomb and we lost like 15 capitals. He goes, "Okay, I'll see y'all next week," and just disconnects from comms.
Chad
That seems like a hashtag just
Follow
horde
it.
things though. Like
It
honestly.
is.
My question is, what Marauder should I suicide into T5Z?
Second one.
I just undocked, so please do it quickly.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know
given that you
which one you sacrifice, as long as you sacrifice it when I'm online. So sometime within the next 3 to 6 months.
Well,
Do you
given
need
you are a
revenge for
Goonswarm
those dreads?
Federation and you have the proud yellow B on your
You know
Oh,
what,
let me check
Cryo?
alliance
I'm
thing.
actually really fucking impressed
Sacrifice
with
a
you guys
paladin.
for not pinging me as much as I thought you would about losing a dreadnought.
No.
I think I only got 2 or 3 pings, and I was pretty impressed by that.
I was
Because
actually.
normally-
I just pinged it
yeah,
to go,
you
yo,
love
that was
dread.
that was baller.
Hey, are the mobile Sino things, are they out yet?
No. Those
I
are
don't
gonna
have
be
the
with
Vargas
complete
skin.
formations, probably.
I think I have every of the fucking hazard control skins except for the Varga. Disappointing.
Anyway, gang, we're gonna start wrapping this up because it is I actually have a job interview in the morning, so I need to be in bed at a decent time.
Need to see a man about a horse?
No, I have a job interview thing.
Whoa, what happened?
That's okay. That's what that means. I'm sorry. You don't understand.
Oh,
Okay,
is
sorry.
what that
Moving on.
means?
Yeah, it's all right. Moving on.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know about that. But anyway, so what we'll do our final thoughts. Billy didn't even stay long enough for me to ask for his final thoughts. Last week, Billy did a sick freestyle rap. Not a freestyle rap. He wrote it down.
A diss.
But it was a diss track, and I definitely recorded it, but unfortunately, it did not record. So
You definitely didn't record it.
yeah, I definitely clicked record, and then it just didn't record. And
Just don't know where the video is.
It's a
no,
likely story.
I watched the video. It was just like 2.5 minutes of the Jita background on a blank screen, just kind of doing its thing. But yeah, that's my story today. So we're gonna go through final thoughts. We're gonna go from the top. We're gonna work our way down. I'm not gonna call your names. I just through it and do your thing. Feel free to take your time. I've got no rush, obviously, no rush. So just do your thing. We'll start out with Rendell, and then
All right. So anyways, anyone listening who's in the Texas area and you just battled through that bullshit last week, enjoy playing Eve this week. Take a break. It was hell where I lived. That's why I wasn't on here last week. But shout out to everyone who's now living and turning on their AC when they were, because it's like 80 degrees here in Texas now. But enjoy it. The weather's fucked, but Eve's still a fun place. That's my final thoughts. On to you, Volvin.
All right. Well, I would definitely say it's been a very fun night. Very interesting things that have happened. One thing I just want to say, Redline, I hope you make the job. You definitely are sorted out for this. And I'm just going to wrap it up quickly because I don't want to spend anyone's bullshit time. So, on to the next person.
just who is
Gregorian.
Gregorian.
Oh, yeah.
Apologies.
My final thoughts are I really want to get into a dread fight this week. Goons, please drop some caps sometime.
We have been
Not
just
off
on
of the
tether
keep
mostly.
We didn't have any left.
We're the ones without any caps.
You guys are
You
the ones
guys
who
don't
got
have
it.
any space.
Confused, man. I don't get it.
It's the Imperium, no space, and Pappy, no caps.
Some caps.
Some caps.
Half caps.
Half caps. There we go.
Oh my god, this might be the only thing I've ever agreed with Wormius-san. He says he wishes the final thoughts were rhymes, and I have to agree. I do. I do.
Pappy has 2 large caps, and they're both the piece because we get big PPs.
Oh my god.
Never ever say that again. Ever.
It's wrong. We should not try to rhyme.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway,
not.
I'm going on holiday for the weekend, so don't kill anything while I'm gone, please.
Sounds like we're gonna kill a Keepstar.
Yeah, maybe. See how we go. But I've got to travel for work, so, and then have a holiday afterwards. So
You let me come on it.
We'll enjoy
Let
that.
you come? No.
Do you have any final thoughts for us today, or do you want to announce?
Yeah, I'm just announcing that I'm.
Vacation?
Yeah, in a COVID-free environment. Yeah, it's gonna be rad.
Wait,
Just
you
to
said you're in
flex
a
on everyone.
COVID-free environment?
Yes, I live in New Zealand, so.
Oh, god damn it. Fucking New Zealand, man. I wish every single day of my life that I lived in New Zealand.
It's quite nice. I recommend it. Final thoughts are carriers are fun, but holy shit, everyone needs to learn how to fly them better. I've been FCing them lately, and like on both sides, I'm just seeing fighters just go for walks randomly, and it's very bizarre, and I don't know why people do it. That's my final thought, is carrier pilots lose 30 IQ when they get into the ship.
Pretty fair final
Thank
thought.
you.
So are the carrier pilots training to be marshal pilots if they lose that much IQ?
Yeah, basically. You start with the carrier, then you get the marshal.
All right, well, looks like that brings us to Sandrin.
I'll start my final thoughts with the usual http://di-va.space. It's Diva's website. We are recruiting. We're the premier dog-loving corp in test. We're not furries. I just have a really cute dog. We have Jeremy. And Cryo's a bitch because he won't feed me a Marauder.
You just fuck over there.
Was the fact that you have Jeremy a selling point, or like a
It's
was it a
up to you.
pro or a con?
Still
It's up to
processing that.
it is up to personal preference.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, speaking
I'm a
of
good dude once you get to know me.
Is it
speaking of
K-pop every Sunday
cons,
morning?
Me.
There's a lot of K-pop discussion in the Corp Discord.
speaking of
That's what
cons,
that's like.
Jeremy, you're up.
Okay. I thank you all who come and play the game with me and who watch the show. I love you all. Join Diva. It's a lot of fun. I like it. And I will not be silenced just because I was banned on Reddit.
How unfortunate for all of us. Anyways, Dom, you're up.
It's to Jeremy for not letting the man hold him down. Fuck yeah. Fuck Reddit. You go. That's fantastic.
You go, girl.
I like fucking this beer.
On a scale of 1 to the moon, where are you at right now on the iometer?
It's pretty good.
Can you see me from up there?
But actually, yes.
Do I look like an ant?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Bubbles and hearts, baby.
Bubbles and hearts. All right, Loki.
Yeah, I got it. Also, let's do this in rhyme, because why not? Shout out to CCP Signal and Rise for making game mechanics, which caused great surprise, causing Matterall on Talking in Stations to explain what TTP means, sorry, live on stream, now seen by all creation. Also,
what is
TTP
TTP?
doesn't actually mean what it was that he described it. If you Googled that, please don't Google that.
Wait, what is he describing? I'm now confused.
So TTP means like time to penis. I guess I could say that because he said it on his thing and everything was fine. Which is essentially some weird gamer thing where we just use all mechanics to make penis shapes in space, I suppose, or something like that. Right, but the
Oh, is it
actual,
like the
what
Hitler?
TTP actually means is not that. So
I thought that
anyway,
was like a website thing.
Well, that's HTTP.
I wouldn't
and
Google it.
TCP.
I wouldn't Google it. Let's just put it that way.
Fuck.
Is it
I
kind of
said,
like
I said don't Google it.
is it kind of like the Hitler thing where like every conversation goes to Hitler eventually or something like that?
I'll
Not
explain it
partially?
in like 3 sentences. I'll look at the player's creative tools, and it's the amount of time it takes them to draw a dick. There you go.
There you go.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, Rain, you are up on final thoughts. Trash Talk Tuesday.
So I kind of completely lost my train of thought, but I'll give a shout out to Rich for being on the scene and reporting for us live. Some of that stuff's pretty fun when we can do it spontaneously. I also saw on Twitter that apparently Chappie, the guy who was terminally ill, I believe it was last year, he's actually got good news saying he's in remission. So I think that's a positive note for him. So big shout out to him. I know people were really worried about him because he was like, I think he had like a year left to live. So this is really good news for him. So shout out to Chappie.
That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. Oh no, I don't have an air horn or anything for him, but
Hopefully we can celebrate Chappie's birthday again. I'd love to do that.
yeah, that would be really nice.
Yeah, he's also the Imperium now.
Oh, well, never mind. We can't
Never
celebrate
mind.
because
Yeah.
it's in the Imperium. Fuck Chappie. I want my ship back that I lost at his fucking party.
He's the only member of TNT who we actually like, right?
Is
No.
TNT really part of the Imperium though? Like it's it's kind of questionable. Do they really do anything?
They join, don't they?
Jeremy, what's it like having your brain?
Oh,
Probably
it's an
very
At least
indescribable
you
experience.
admit he has one.
It's probably very similar to having a rock in a can.
Wait, Jeremy has a brain?
Hey man, I'm just having a good time, and no
I
one
like
can fault me for that.
Well, we can try.
Yeah, and we are succeeding.
Are you?
Probably.
I am.
Look at Gagarin talking shit. I love it, dude.
Hey,
Welcome to Trash Talk Tuesday. After like what, 3 episodes, 4 episodes now, Gagarin? You came out of your thing and you're hammering Jeremy. That's a time-honored tradition here on Trash Talk
Gordon,
Tuesdays. Welcome to the club.
You are in Cap F. I don't want to hear anything about having like cranial functions from a member of Cap F.
We already saw what happened to the last of them.
Oh, it only took 2 hours to get to Trash Talk? Y'all are fucking... Whew!
Gotta get warmed up.
Good shit. Jesus. Christmas. All right, who's next? It's Rich. It's Rich Richmond.
Spy
Well,
master.
I'd like to go ahead and tell everybody who wishes to make any attempt on the Tranquility Trading Tower, you will have to go through 3 8 to 10 hour bashing sessions, but if you do it, you will become absolute legends. And on that note, Redline, do update my picture.
Give me
I
one
need
second.
I need a new corp.
At
You
least
say
you have a picture.
leggings?
Rich
Join
needs a
me.
picture.
Yes, it'll be absolute legends.
Richard, you should join CapF. You'd fit perfectly
What
in
does
there.
that even mean?
Rich, come join frat.
These British people.
We'd be like, yes. Okay.
I would like to shout. I'd just like to shout out in chat CCP Signal. On Friday, you were in a channel. You were told specifically not to come here on Tuesday, but you came here on Tuesday anyway. Why would you do this? Why would
Bold move.
anybody do
Rage
this?
Against the Machine, dude.
Bold move,
I don't
sir. Bold move.
understand it. This has been the worst talk show based on EVE Online in the history of talk shows this evening.
That is not true, dude.
What about the Imperium News Channel?
What?
Blue Space Nerds was way worse than this one.
MPX.
You really think this is
Oh
worth
yeah,
it?
no, yeah, you're right. Space Nerds. That was
Nobody wanted to talk about the fleet formations. I wanted to talk about it on Friday, and then we all came here, and I was like, "All right, this is my show. We can talk about fleet
If we talk about
formations."
it next week, we can not only talk about it in theory, but actually in practice and how it's going to affect the upcoming M2 fight.
It's only
and
gonna-
all kinds of cool things like that.
It's
Rather
only gonna
than just
matter
more
when there's
speculation.
AOE weapons everywhere. AOE weapons is when it'll really matter.
But see,
What
here's the
M2
thing,
fight?
right? Is that the fleet formations? I do not see them having as big of an impact as everybody is saying they do. I don't see the hype. I think they're cool, but I don't think anybody's gonna take the time to fucking go turbo autismo
I think you're
on making
wrong,
the
dude.
relative fleet formations work
Oh no, I am
together.
going to do it. I will immediately do
You
it.
don't have
Pando
the
already
mental
have-
fortitude to do it, Jeremy.
Doesn't Pando already have like
tomorrow's
an
my day
init
off.
logo kind of for like warp formation thing going on?
He had bookmarks.
Yeah, so I mean, dude, there are people who will take the time, trust me. But I really think that like overall, like the set ones are like whatever, like those will be fine. The ones where you're just like randomly like snapshotting where everything is and then warping onto another grid and everything's like where you're able to warp in front of locations, I think that's crazy fucking broken. So if that actually ever makes it to server, and I don't know the status of any of that, I think that that would be broken like AF. But outside of that, everything else seems like pretty. I don't know. It's just more shit that other people will fuck up doing. So it's great. Like middle of a fight, they warp to a gate, and they all land at like different ranges, and then you just get to kill them. Like,
Have any of us actually like gone on CC and like played around with it? Like, what is it like?
One thing that I want to quickly mention before we get further into the discussion of this is I want to just say I'm very upset that they have 100-day trade time to get it to 5 so that you can actually use the fucking relative fleet formations. It's like
Oh
100 days
wow!
of training just to use it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that is
didn't even
dumb.
think about that. That there was a
Is it
skill
skill
for
connected?
it.
Two of them.
It's 2 skills, and
This is
Oh my
not
God.
something that should be gated behind.
CCP Signal, are you still listening? Because this is a stupid decision. You should change
Hey,
it.
it prints money. It prints money.
Jesus. All right. Anyways, so I do have some shout outs because I want to shout out everybody who is watching the stream. We're going to turn on emote only mode real quick. Rain, can you handle that? Because I don't have the mod view on.
I got it, don't worry.
All right, perfect. So I want to shout out everybody who does actually watch the shows on this channel. We appreciate you for watching. I would much rather you watch the shows that we air on Thursday and on every other Sunday because they are much better than this one. And they actually talk about things that have just try very hard to chat shit at each other. But
They
of
don't
course,
start me.
I'm kidding because Trash Talk Tuesday is, as a matter of fact, the third best talk show about Eve, broadcasting on Tuesday at 0200. And this is what you've been watching or listening to past 2 hours and however many minutes. And tonight, I'm going to show you credits that work perfectly, again, just like I did last week, because I've got this down to a science.
That's
right?
got to be a giant lie.
Wait.
Please tell me, did that really happen last week and I missed it because I had no power?
Oh
Are
shit!
you
I
shitting
thought
me?
that was the community challenge completed. I was about to shit my pants.
Quarter of
because
the way.
the community challenge, as you can see, has just reached 250,000 points. The more you guys donate to the community challenge, the less likely it is you're going to press the big red button on me, like a special Pinecone did last week, and shut off the stream.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, anyways, so tonight, after we play the credits, we're going to